You are about to witness history in the making.
Hi guys, it's 2019. Happy New Year to you all. It seems like forever since we've done a podcast. It was last year, in fact.
It was indeed.
and introducing Haydn. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing great, thanks, Steve. How are you?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to you since last year.
I know. Well, we've been doing different things, and you now think I've got a mental illness as well.
I do, and we'll discuss that achievement illness later, I'm sure. Just we quickly just go straight into it, really. So, yeah, Christmas was okay. Nice break. Had the family down for a few days.
Did Santa Claus bring you anything nice?
Just a few bits and pieces, because as I say, we limited the price this year.
Yeah.
And so I actually got a Christmas present yesterday because it was delivered late, and I got a cookbook for film buffs.
Okay.
And for example, one of the when you open it up, one of the recipes, for example, is this cream pie.
Right.
And it was the cream pie from Groundhog Day. So that's the recipe there. Then they got the Kahuna burger, which was from Pulp Fiction.
Yep. And
it's like that, so on and so forth, with all these different movies. So that's quite interesting.
Oh, very cool.
But all got some bits and bobs. We get your usual bits and pieces.
Like vinyl.
Like vinyl. No, that was me. I bought that myself, pal.
Did you actually get any vinyl for Christmas?
No, I didn't ask for any because I had everything I wanted either being delivered, or en route. Because I had 5 pieces of vinyl from the last year, going way back to August, which were paid for then, and one of them took half a year to get here, just because it didn't get produced, and there was an issue I think with actually making it. But Mission Impossible eventually came just before Christmas, which was good. But yeah, one of my little main presents for me is my film sales from Jaws.
Yes.
Limited. This run was a limited of 500 in this frame setup, and they're the original frames that would have been on a reel that would have been in your local cinema.
Yes.
So pretty cool. Well, I was say there's plenty of those around if you want to look into that sort of thing.
35mm, presumably.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the soundtrack on one side, and then you got the other part of it on the other side as well. So
yeah, I've got a similar thing with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got some Star Wars socks, by the way. I always get them for some reason. I keep telling them, where about some Star Trek ones? Come on.
Well, we've got a bit of news about Star Trek shortly.
Yeah, whoa. But yeah, it's we did a bit of gaming over Christmas with the family.
Yeah.
Which actually isn't in my notes, but we played Knowledge is Power.
Okay.
And did that with all 6 of us. And obviously we played the other one on the Xbox, because I can't remember the name at the minute, but we played that before quite a few times. I think you've mentioned it before. So remind me to mention that one a bit later.
Quiplash, was that it?
Oh, I can't remember now. But looking
at New Year, I was playing Quiplash.
Knowledge is Power that was free on PS Plus at some point.
Yeah.
And the other one, it might be called Quiz Time, possibly.
That's also on the PlayStation as well, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah, yeah. But yeah, we did some board gaming, bit of Monopoly, some other types of board games as well, which was pretty cool. Ate too much, obviously.
Yeah.
But looking forward to the new year now, and it's crazy because gaming is now just literally on our doorstep already before we can breathe.
Yes, Ace Combat's on incoming,
I know,
isn't it?
I have that on. Hopefully it'll come on the day, would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be short-lived for about a week, which I'll talk about something else later. So yeah, it's crazy, and I got a couple of bits of vinyl coming this week as well, funnily enough. One you will be interested in.
Oh.
And I've got I've got a 180 gram pressing, so it's not the original pressing back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, but this will be remastered from the original masters onto vinyl.
Okay.
And it's a soundtrack to a movie from Queen.
Flash Gordon.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And that's coming Tuesday.
I think I actually have the original.
Oh, I did. I had it on cassette back in the day because I did a few phase where I had my boom box that I had at the time in the 80s, and I used to buy, instead of just buying the vinyl and taping it, I'd just buy the cassette for ease. But yeah, it'd be nice to see that. And I've got an album by the Sex Pistols coming tomorrow as well, but I won't say what that's called.
Probably best not to.
You'd probably guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, gaming's gonna be difficult this year because there's a couple of good games coming up this year that are very early on.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna get that March time, and yeah, it's all good.
Yes, the Easter boom, and then quiet through summer.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm not going to go mad. I'm probably going to just take it easy because I've still got games from last year to play.
So have I, because I don't know about you, but I've been sort of like snatching up some of the PSVR games that have been coming up, ready to play. Yes,
yeah, I've got a few there that I've had a while that I've not even touched yet.
Yeah,
so
me too.
But how? So Christmas was okay? All good?
Yeah, all good. Didn't Christmas present wise, it wasn't like a tech fest or whatever, but afterwards it was.
Yeah, well, why did you get that? I do not know. This is me saying I would buy it, and you did.
What's that?
The PlayStation.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, I only got that the other day.
Yeah.
It was an impulse buy. I'd actually got something else, and then I looked and I thought, oh, that's only that amount of money now. Okay, then.
How much was it?
50.
Because if you go in the PlayStation store online,
yeah,
you can get it for 83.
Yeah,
I think it was. But you get some keychains, some cups, bits and bobs with it as well.
So yeah, and a bag.
Is it a bag as well?
Yeah, it's a bag. It says it's got the PlayStation symbol on and 94, doesn't it? And it's blue and white, I think.
Which is what the year the PlayStation came out?
Yeah. I was, like I said, it was just a complete impulse buy, but I did do an unboxing of that as well. So if you have a look on my channel, I'll also be putting a link to the Pop Culture Gamers YouTube channel as well. So yeah, I'll talk about that another time, when, probably in gaming, but not this week, because I haven't really gone to town with that yet.
Yeah, but it doesn't have achievements, so I don't think it's going to float your boat.
No, well, neither does the PS4. It has trophies.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But no, other bits of tech, because I got a Steam Deck as well.
Oh, you did? That's right, you did, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and I don't think you know I've got this, but I got a Seagate drive, and it's actually the Seagate Backup Plus hub. So it's a desktop one with integrated USB hub for the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
So that means that I now have 7 terabytes of storage on my Xbox.
Not that you need it at the minute.
No, not with me playing more PlayStation games, to be honest.
Yeah.
But so I've done a few unboxings as well as the PlayStation Classic and other YouTube videos. I did put together all of my footage from Insomnia 63.
Yeah.
And put that online. And I've also done an unboxing and an installation of a Retro Flag MegaPi case. So it's your Raspberry Pi, computer on a board, but then it's gone into a case that is the same as a Mega Drive but smaller.
Yeah,
like a Mega Drive Mini, as it were. And it's as cool as it is. Absolutely brilliant. Even the CD tray lifts up on it. There's nothing in there. It's just like a storage box when you open it up, but it is absolutely brilliant. For the price, it was really, really good. Very pleased with it. Very pleased with it indeed. Anyway, we've been talking about trophies, but last year I had a goal, and that was I wanted to hit 50k gamer score, and I smashed it because I got 64,741 gamer score in the year, which was pretty good. I was quite pleased with that. It would have been higher if it hadn't have been for things like Spider-Man, God of War, and my PC sort of distracting me from my Xbox, to be fair. But my highest grossing month, I was going to say, have a guess what my gamer score was in my highest month, which was January, where I really went for it with a vengeance on that. But 17,321 gamer score in
as I said,
month.
you've got a problem, and I think we need to talk to our local shrink.
Yeah, but in December I also got 8,875 gamer score. It meant that for the year I was the top of my leaderboard on Xbox, because everybody's got their own unique leaderboards. But I was the top of my leaderboard for the whole of the year. Which is quite hard to do if you think about it, when you think about... And there was one or two times where I know, because people told me they were trying to knock me off the number one slot. And I saw them getting the same games that I'd been playing through to try and catch up. But I'd done my research, so I had a load of games ready. I always had at least... I could get an extra 2,000 within, several hours. Do you know what I mean? I was sat there waiting.
Do you see your wife?
Yeah, I do. I do.
You sure?
I do. Yeah.
I'll have to ask her. Because I don't reckon you've given her the time.
Yeah, it's when she comes in and says, "Do you want a cup of tea?" while I'm playing a game. Not really. No, I do see it. But I mean, most of my gaming's done, when family's gone to bed, sort of thing. I just don't sleep. But anyway, I've decided that this year I'm going to have a focus on trophies, because my trophy level is much lower than my Xbox level, which is now nearly 250,000.
Yeah.
So anyway, after all of that, I've decided I'm going to give my PS4 some love. Start going on through some of my PSVR games as well.
Yeah.
And basically that's going to be my main focus. So I've started how I've meant to go on. This week I've completed 9 PS4 games and got 8 platinum trophies.
What sort of size games were they? Were they AAA or
no?
indie,
they weren't 30-hour games, because obviously you can't do that. But
no,
and to be honest, they're sort of the easier end of the spectrum in terms of some of them about easier trophies to get.
So basically, you were playing them just because you wanted the trophies.
No, I'm playing. Some of them I am, yeah. To be fair,
come on, be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, some of them I've just thought, go on, and I'll give that one a go.
If I can find Barbagill Goes to America, I'll play that, because it's probably 10 achievements in an hour or whatever.
That's you, Steve. That's not me. We know that you had the Barbie horse riding one on the 360.
No, I never. I turned mine on last night, and because I had it. We were going to see it over the Christmas period. We normally play the Kinect with the darts and that.
Yeah.
So we were going to move, put a TV in the lobby area, move the Xbox 360 out there. We'll get ready to do it, and I'm going, I don't have the game. Because they normally bring it down with them.
Yeah.
Remember the family. So we didn't play it, and but I hadn't put it back together again since last night, because the missus used it for a DVD player to do a yoga. So it's easy to get the 360 out, and you can use that. Don't have to worry about any discs of Destiny that's stuck in the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I'll log in. So I logged into the 360, popped up on there. I thought, is there a game I can actually download? And there's just one game I thought I'd try and download.
There must be loads of games you can download because of live and that.
Yeah, but I've got loads in my catalogue anyway.
Yeah.
But for some reason I was trying to find Rock Band Blitz.
Oh God, I remember that. I've got that.
But I do own it, and a shed load of songs, but you can't download it anymore.
I thought that the whole point was you were supposed to be able to download it. You just couldn't buy it from the store.
Yeah, because I did buy it originally.
Yeah.
And I searched for it on the store, and it doesn't have a download button where I could go to BioShock, for example.
Can't you go into your download queue, though, and download it again?
I tried looking in and I couldn't find it because something said in the list, because I'm assuming those ones might be Xbox One X, it says that they weren't popping up in the population. So I might have to have a look. But I just fancy putting that in there because it's a game that's not Rockstar, sorry, but the guys that made Rock Band, they sort of died of death now.
Not Guitar Hero, it's...
Rock, I can't think right top of my head, but you know what I mean.
Rock Band, it's not Rockstar.
Yeah, and the games aren't sort of made anymore, are they now? It's sort of died of death, isn't it?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I was never really into that genre that much, to be honest.
But,
I never played
but
it.
But that arcade game is great to play with the controller.
Yeah.
I loved it. But no, I after it was 2 a.m, I thought, well, I'm going to go to bed now. I can't be asked. so I turned it off. I was going to probably download another one, but bulk of them are back compat anyway, so they'll be on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So yeah, never mind. Anything else?
Yeah, one of my things this year is about cable management.
Yes. So what did you go for in the end?
I went for a nest to go underneath the desk.
Oh, so you went for the cable tray?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, but I haven't set it up yet because I've done my son's desk, because all of this sort of came along because my son's got a PC which he got for Christmas, and then he turns round, he says, "Dad, it keeps going off." Right, okay. Are you knocking any of the wires? No. Okay. So played it, kept going. All the time I was there, it was fine. Come out of the room, goes off. This goes on for about 4 days. I'm at the point of wanting to throw the machine out of the window because I'm thinking, is it, it must be a thermal thing. But then touching it, I thought it's not, it's not the thermal, cut off or anything like that. No, it turns out he'd been kicking the power lead. And because the connection wasn't really solid in, it was knocking it off. So after various expletives, I thought, right, so all of his cables are now, because my son, I don't know what it is about him, but he's a contortionist, and his feet will be, they seem to be operate on a completely independent level to his brain, and his feet will be all over the place, and he'll put his feet in what looks like the most uncomfortable positions, and it's just sort of what on earth are you doing? And so that's why he's been catching these cables. So I've got, self-adhesive stick-on clips and Velcro straps to strap leads together and stuff like that. And I've stuck stuff to the underside of his desk where, to be honest, he'd have to be super contortionist to get his feet. Where it's at the far back of the desk sort of thing. And then all of the wires chased behind things where he can't get his feet into. But I want to do the same thing for my desk. But one of the things I want to do as well is I need to, I want to channel a couple of holes in my desk and, get, the cable feed covers. Yeah. Yeah, and do a few of those as well on my desk to sort of give it better routing for my wires. And that's going to take a lot more than the way that I did my son's desk. So I thought, right, I'm just going to do this slowly. So I've been looking for the cable tray, found a cable tray which will go on the underside of the desk. And then after that, I'm going to have to drill the holes and then start feeding stuff through. So, well, you know what cable management's like. It's a blooming nightmare to do, isn't it? But once it's done, it's good.
Oh, yeah. There's many ways of doing it, as we said, as we chatted later. I think it's the only time we have chatted over Christmas. But,
It probably is.
But yeah, but at least you got it sorted. That's the main thing. Yeah.
No, it's all sorted. So I'm just trying to think about where I need plugs and all of that sort of thing at the moment. And I'm not even sure whether or not to get another sort of socket, because at the moment I'm running off a 10-way plug for a lot of my equipment with a surge protector and stuff like that. And it's a tower one, but I didn't know whether or not to get a flat one and stick that to the underside of my desk with some 3M tape.
Yeah, that's what my suggestion would have been, to put some 3-compartment trunking on the wall.
Yeah.
And rewire one of the sockets into that trunking, and then break the ring, and you can have another 6 on there, all in that trunking in a row.
Yeah.
And then you can plug individually into each of the sockets, all the way along, beyond the back.
Bit beyond my abilities, mate, to be honest.
Okay. I could do it for you. You have to cost you.
Give you a cup of tea if you come up.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we done?
Yep, done. Let's move on.
Cool. So, we go to Gaming This Week.
No longer a dream, but a reality.
So, news this week. Couple of bits and pieces. One for you to read, which I think the one you should read is the second one, actually. I think that's more... I think Mystic Meg was involved in this one, wasn't it?
No, it was just my intelligence.
Yeah. So, anyway, so the biggest news, and what put the big Cheshire grin on my face, was that Bungie have parted with Activision.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but my original thought when I first saw this and I looked into it, I was so happy, because really, I think the leash that they've been attached to with Activision and the big bosses at Activision, how they do the game, are actually being taken away now, and they can probably put this in a bit better way than they originally, with the Ranger intended to do.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that? Did you think? Because I was jumping. I was probably running out the street screaming. Yeah.
Well, I'm really hoping that this actually means that we get the Destiny that we want, rather, without all of the microtransactions and all of that sort of thing.
I mean, the microtransactions can still be there. To be honest, though, they are very minimal now, and the way it works with the idea at the moment with the shop and how that all comes together, I think it works well, because you do get a lot of that stuff yourself just by playing the game. So that's pretty good. So there's no play to win in this game at all.
Yeah.
But reading some of the tweets, and they were the Bungie teams, and were cracking champagne open. They were that happy. And could this mean that we could see a Destiny 3 sooner rather than later?
Well, research firm Cohen and Company have predicted that Bungie are going to release Destiny 3 in 2020. Not really a stretch, seeing as that there was a 3-year gap between the last one, and 2020 would be another 3-year gap. Yeah.
I mean, they have confirmed that everything and the timeline they've got at the moment for all the DLC.
Yeah, that's all going ahead.
That's going ahead as it is, which is great, really, because I'm having such good fun with that. And it was talking about maybe some other things they were going to add along the way as well, maybe. So, actually, it's good news. And I've heard some of the feedback from other podcasts I've listened to. Actually, I haven't listened to the IGN one to hear their thoughts, but because it's not been out yet. But the other people are just really, really good for this. So I'm chuffed. So, do you want to talk about your little bit of a prediction some time ago, if I remember rightly?
Yes, well, in a matter of fact, my prediction predates this podcast.
It does, doesn't it?
To the previous podcast that we were on, and I was told that I was being stupid and ridiculous at this prediction. But anyway, reports from Wall Street Journal have suggested that there's a new version of the Nintendo Switch may arrive as soon as summer 2019. So that's a lot of analysts are agreeing on this. And one of the analysts believes, who's evidently got a lot right in terms of his predictions, believes that Nintendo will launch a fully handheld version of the Switch at about $199, which is about the same price as the 3DS. And he's saying he expects the device to have the same screen, but the Joy-Cons built into the body with no docking station. And as it can't switch from handheld to console, it's hard to guess what they will call it, but they're assuming Game Boy. But I was only saying that kidding.
Yeah.
And also, the sales of the 3DS are really in a decline now as well. So I said when the Switch first came out, I couldn't see Nintendo maintaining a market with the 3DS and the Switch. And seeing as that the 3DS was older technology, it's obvious what they'd do is release a different version of the Switch with the Joy-Cons built in, without a docking station, that would play Switch games to replace the 3DS. And I was told I was being stupid. Now it looks like that's what's going to happen.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. But it makes sense, because the only people that Nintendo is battling against in this arena is Nintendo.
Yeah. So,
it just makes sense for them to have the Switch. I don't think it's, I personally, the other things that I suggested as well is that it wouldn't come with a docking station, but I did suggest that you would be able to buy a docking station and use external Joy-Cons if you wanted to as well. And I still think that Nintendo will do that. I think that they'll do it as an entry level for the Switch, so that, you can then upgrade it with extra things like docking stations and that.
Yeah.
Because then they can charge you more money for the docking station than what it would cost.
Again, I suppose it's all good to get more out for Nintendo. I think it'll help them immensely.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, I do think I've strongly felt this right the way along. I think that they will bring out this, because then they don't have to pay for two ecosystems as well. You think about it, at the moment they're having to maintain the 3DS sort of side and the 2DS. 3DS and 2DS with the Switch. This would mean they would only ever have to produce one game. The game sales would go up. The number of people, in terms of a family, you would have, a couple of brothers and sisters there, all of which, if it came in at a cheaper price point, would have their own one, instead of having one Switch with a few Joy-Cons and 3DSs each. It all makes sense. And also they get to sell multiple versions of the same game to those families as well, for when they want to play with each other. Just, to me, it's a no-brainer that Nintendo would have gone in this direction.
Yeah.
So, interesting to see. So I might, if they brought it in at that price point, which would be about 160 quid, wouldn't it? That would get me more tempted.
Yeah, maybe. Be interesting to see. I mean, it depends, isn't it? So much game to play as it is, having another one of those, a handheld as well.
Yeah.
But, because you don't play your son's much, I know it's his, but you've not really dabbled with it too much.
No, but to be honest, it's his. And I don't, I don't want to, I know if I started on it, I would be like, oh, do you really want to play your Switch? Do you know what I mean? So, no, I try not to do that. And plus the fact, it's all of the messing about logging off his profile, loading up mine, which doesn't seem to be quite, it's not quite as straightforward as it is with switching on the Xbox, and then you just choose which profile you want. Do you know what I mean? So like you have to consciously log out of one.
Yeah.
And I just can't be bothered with it. So that's why I don't bother. And it's just that little bit too expensive when I've got, a Pro and an X to then say I'll have something that is, is a Switch.
Yeah.
Have you never been tempted?
No. To be honest, handhelds is not my thing.
I'm surprised, because of.
I mean, I've had a Nintendo DS before back in the day.
You had a Vita as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I've had a Vita, so I've been down that, but it doesn't get enough love.
Yeah. Did you sell your Vita?
Yeah, I did in the end.
So you said hasta la Vita.
Hasta la Vita, baby. I went, hello, PSVR. So, yeah, it was well worth the move.
Yeah, fair enough.
But, there's another bit of news, just quickly. I don't know too much about it, but I just know the story, and I think it came up today. But following Bungie's split with Activision, Activision are under investigation for fraud.
Really?
Yeah. So quickly saying, Call of Duty publisher Activision Blizzard is under investigation for fraud after a claim was brought forth by the company's investors. Currently, the law firm of Prominence LLP is gathering potential investors for a class action lawsuit. So who knows what's going on with them?
Mm.
And whether that could be anything, couldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It could be. It could be indeed.
Loot boxes.
Mm. Well, I've got another bit of news as well.
Go on then.
Now, this is one that's really going to divide the listeners.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. Xbox gamers are better than PS4 and PC gamers, according to LG's completely scientific new research. So,
excuse me while I just cough up a lung. Excuse me.
So PC and PS4 gamers ain't got nothing on Xbox owners, according to new research which the LG has settled the debate of who are really the best gamers. And all of this links back to something that was done for the new Call of Duty game, right, evidently. But the research from LG, which they reckon sort of like settled things. Nintendo fans weren't really involved in this. But more than 1,400 gamers participated in LG's Elite Reaction Test, created in partnership with Activision. PC gamers happen to fare the worst with an average accuracy of 67.7% compared to Xbox players whose average accuracy was 77.1%. When taking the test, users were required to click on targets that faded from green to red as quickly as possible to increase their score. The overall score a player received was based on a number of different factors, including accuracy, targets hits, target missed, and how quickly the targets were done. So even though PC gamers are considered to be the twitchiest of all of us, the Xbox gamers' average reaction score was 79.7 and PlayStation gamers was 71.9, with PC gamers coming up a poor third at 62.2%. In terms of number of targets hit, Xbox gamers led the way with 78% of clicks, PlayStation 74%, and PC gamers 70%. And also, although PC gamers hit fewer targets than their console counterparts, they were, however, the quickest to react. Almost 1 in 5, 18% of the targets hit were green as well. Compared to Xbox players who only managed to get 9% there. So whether or not you believe it's a scientific study or not is a bit irrelevant. This is what LG is evidently reporting. Granted, it did come through the Daily Star, so it's probably not the best tabloid in the world, and quite clearly the whole idea of it is to just cause insight between gamers. Simple fact of the matter is there could be 1,000,001 things that are a reason for why that is.
It just might have been an LG thing that they did with their TVs, and they got people to run a little quiz to see what their gaming habits are, and that's how it come out. Yeah.
So if you want to do it, you can actually do the test at LG Elite Reaction Test website.
There you go.
So personally, I think it's a load of old rubbish, but it did quite amuse me, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
I'll let you do new releases because I think it's missing on this page. So.
No, this is the new releases for this week.
Is there one missing on there? Or is that cut off?
No, that's cut off because it's the next week. So in that case, new releases for digital only PS4, Xbox One, and Switch PC. We have Onimusha Warlords on the 15th of the 1st. I'm tempted by this. I used to like Onimusha. I'm back on my, was it PS2 days?
Oh, okay. Rightly. Yeah.
The Grand Tour game, PS4 and Xbox One, digital only on the 15th.
Publisher though, look at it.
Amazon Game Studios. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. That's probably, well.
I don't think it'll be Forza. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think it'll probably be more. I have no idea what this game is, to be honest. The one that you've done your pre-order for,
yep,
Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown, and I presume that you're getting this PSVR version.
Of course I am.
Yeah, so PS4, Xbox One, PSVR and PC.
Yeah.
That's on the 18th. We've got Senran Kagura Burst Recall on Newell on the PS4, 18th of the 1st, and Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes on the Switch on the 18th.
Back to Ace Combat. The PC is delayed a little bit. That's maybe another week or two later.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Is it an actual PSVR separate version?
No, what it has 3 separate missions in VR.
Right, okay.
And with different planes that you can use in the missions.
Yeah.
So you'll have a bucket between your legs. So when you hit 4Gs going straight into the sky,
yeah,
you can throw up. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I played them back in the day on the PlayStation 1.
Well, I've got one of them on the PC here as well. One of the more recent ones.
So, and looking at some of this, what I've looked on YouTube, it looks pretty cool, to be honest.
Well, me and Nicky Wilson, when we went to EGX, we saw that, and it was really good.
Yeah,
by the look of it.
Yeah, so that'd be good. Okay, video game charts.
Okay.
So 5 at 5, we've got Battlefield 5. Seems appropriate. 4 at 4, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. 3 at 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And then we got from 1 down to 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. And up from 2 to 1, FIFA 19. So, seems very similar sort of charts as normal for FIFA.
Certainly does.
Games for Gold. Okay, so I've not actually downloaded anything for PlayStation Plus or Games for Gold yet. I just completely forgot all about it, and nothing really floated me about, to be honest. But you could probably tell me otherwise. So, Celeste Xbox One, 1st of January to the 31st. WRC 6, which is World Rally Championship, 16th to the 15th of Feb. So 16th of Jan, 15th of Feb. Never Alone Xbox One, December 16th to January 15th, which I do actually have. Lara Croft, The Guardian of Light, I've got that as well. Available from the 1st to the 15th of Jan. PlayStation Plus, Haydn, what have we got for there?
PlayStation Plus, we've got Steep on the PS4, which I've actually downloaded and been playing. Quite enjoyed that, even though I've got it on the Xbox. Portal Knights, PS4. Zone of Enders HD Collection on the PS3. I've just picked it up on the PS4. Amplitude on the PS3. Fallen Legion Flames of the Rebellion on the PS Vita, cross-buy with PS4. We've got Super Mutant Alien Assault on the PS Vita. And then also the Warframe PlayStation Booster Pack 3.
And what we got for Twitch, as I can't read that properly from here, pal, so you'll have to do it for me.
Okay, so on Twitch we have Hyperlight Drifter, Bomber Crew, Orwell and Republic. And also there's the Devolver Digital Holiday Pack, which is available until the 31st of January. And it's got Broforce, Crossing Souls, Hotline Miami 1 and 2, The Messenger, Strafe, and the Swords of Ditto.
Interesting. Okay.
Seems to be quite a good service if you're a PC player, is that Twitch Gaming now, which obviously comes in your Amazon thing as well. So even if you're not a PC gamer yet, it's worth, if you're thinking about maybe getting a PC or upgrading your PC to be good enough at some point, it's worth adding them every month anyway. Yeah,
absolutely. So, okay. So if we move on to gaming this week.
Yeah.
Now, can we take a break here for a second, because I'm having to go to my phone because it's not on here, is it?
Okay.
So just give me a second. I have to load up that Word document. And then I'm going to have to read off of that. Oh, Jesus, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Okay. I should do my damnedest on this phone. So ready when you are. So I'll count myself in.
Yeah.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we'll start with what I normally start with, and that's Destiny. So as of this week, the next Forge was available in the labs, and what we have here is on EDC we got the Nobi Labs, where you have a puzzle to complete before you can open up the actual forge. And for the puzzles being that difficult, for 2 days, with only some of the puzzles complete, no one's actually done it. So Bungie, in their wisdom, said, well, what the hell, let's open it up 10 o'clock Friday night, I think it was. And you could just jump straight into it. Obviously, you have to complete the quest first of all, before you get to it. I think it's been pretty cool. If you wanted to do the puzzles to get to open the forge, you can still do that. But you'll get an emblem and a ghost for doing that if you feel that floats your boat. But it was pretty damned hard from what I've seen of it. Really enjoying this forge. I've just picked up my favourite auto rifle, which is called the Ringing Nail. And for the first time I've seen this in Destiny, you can add an actual part to the colouring of it. And it gives it like a texture that moves as well.
All right.
So that looks pretty cool. Also, something else I've done this week, but obviously you wouldn't have done this yet because you've not unlocked the Dreaming City, have you?
I've just unlocked it.
Have you? What, on the Xbox?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what we got is you've only got 2 seeds so far for your powers, have you, at the moment?
I have no idea, to be honest. I unlocked it and then switched it off and haven't been back since.
Okay, so obviously you got three new subclass powers,
right,
with Forsaken, and I only have unlocked 2 of them so far. Mm-hmm. So the one that was missing for me was the arc one, where when you're in the sort of in midair and you sort of lash out this beam of electric energy.
Yeah.
Which I've been seeing for ages, and I've wondered, I want to do that, but I haven't got the seed. Anyway, so I looked into it, and what you need to do, and this is a 3-week turnaround. So on the Dreaming City this week, you will see these globes in the sky. Mm-hmm. And with the globes in the sky means that's the week that you've got to go into the Netherrealm to visit the Queen.
Okay.
So what you do is you've got to go to your bounties. Mm-hmm. And there's one there called Gateway Between Worlds. Yeah. So if you go and complete the bounty, and they will give you an offering. You go to the castle, place the offering, and then inside the top of the castle, the cubes and the circles, everything will align and a portal will open. Mm-hmm. Hop into the portal, go and see the Queen. She'll have a big rant at you at the moment because she's not in the best of moods. And a chest will drop and that seed will be yours. Plus another nice weapon as well. So I did that the other night. That was pretty cool.
So can you only do one of these every 3 weeks?
Well, this part of the story is you can do it every 3 weeks. Go to the Netherrealm.
Right.
So because each week you can do something different in the Dreaming City and everything else. So this one at the moment, if you have got the opportunity to pick up the bounty, mm-hmm. What you need to do is the quest on that will be to go and do some farming in the Well of the Souls. Well of the Souls, that's Raiders of the Lost Ark, isn't it? What I'm saying. There's a thing you've got to do in the centre of the castle, which because I've not got my notes and they're not working, I'm gonna have to just wing this one, unfortunately. But you do that, you'll get the offering, and then you can go and just pop into the other alternative universe.
As you do.
As you do, and it's class. I did put it on Facebook, so it is there to have a look at.
Yeah.
PS4 love. So finally picked up Spider-Man.
Yay!
At a good price. I thought that was well worth it at £25.
That is good.
And I think I got a quid off for Shop 2 being wherever my bronze stature lies in the ecosystem of that.
I'll tell you what, mate, you have no excuse not to make this a platinum. It's an easy platinum.
Yes, because I was playing the game as I was trying to explain to Nikki via text that I was playing on the 3rd highest level.
Yeah.
But apparently you can play it on the easiest level to do it.
Yeah.
Because I did die. I mean, I've completed the first main part of the story, which was to capture Fisk, if you remember rightly.
Yes.
So I did all that, and that's as far as I've got. But I need to I'm probably going to down the level just so I can enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Graphically, it does look amazing. Gameplay will get a little bit. You get a little bit of getting used to be honest. But
yeah,
I think it's those sort of games. It's always like that anyway. I think.
Have you unlocked many suits yet?
I haven't unlocked anything yet.
Right.
All I've done is do that first main mission, and I've gone and seen Octavius in his labs, and did the puzzles with the just to do the circuits. Do you remember that bit?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so that's as much as I've done, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It looks good. Nice and bright and clean as well. So I'm sure I'll be texting you for some little hints on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic game. I need to go back to that to clean up the achievements for the DLC, because I got the Ultimate Edition version of that. So I've got all the DLC.
I saw today when I was on there, is there another piece of DLC out, or is that
no, I think that's the latest one, and evidently there's going to be a Fantastic Four one, rumours are.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. Well, say it's plenty of time to play the game, and it's not going to go away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
but you say this like Detroit, and then you don't.
I know.
Back.
Well, I will. You know, I will at some point. If I like playing a game and I'm into it, and I'll play it, and I can switch at a moment of a whim if I need to or if I want to. But right now, I'm playing what I'm playing. And I went onto the PlayStation to check my download of another game, but it hadn't downloaded it, which is a pain.
Which game was that?
It's a demo because I was on the Xbox this afternoon.
Yeah.
Playing Resident Evil 2, the one-shot demo.
Yeah.
And before I go back on that, what I did do, then after that, I went to check I got it on the other one. And reason being, if you don't know that, in the titles in the clue, you get 130 minutes to play the demo, and that is all you get. And this, for me, is probably one of the most anticipated games at this half of 2019. Because I love the original, which was way back in 1998. Played it to death. Absolutely love it. Now, the demo starts with Leon Kennedy in the whole reception hall of the police station, and you get 30 minutes from there onwards. Now, I didn't look online. I'm sure there's quite a bit you can do if you want to try and speedrun it. But I thought, I'm not going to try and sort of dive deep into it because I'd rather wait till the game comes out.
Yeah.
But it's got the jump scares, it's got the gore, got some great cutscenes. Looks great on the Xbox. And once I saw that and then the trailer kicked in, it just, so pumped for this game.
Yeah.
Really. So I thought, well, I can play it again, can't I? Because I've got to have downloaded it on the PlayStation. So I have downloaded it, so I'll probably play it later this week as well, just to give it another go.
I'll tell you what, we need to go back. We said we were going to do Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, I love that game.
Right, well, we're going to have to do that. That's going to have to be our resolution to complete that game together this year.
Yeah, because it is a great game. That'll be on the Xbox, yeah, because that's where I've got it, I think. But, I mean, I know being horror for you, it's probably not going to float your boat too much, is it? But
I'll get Resi 2.
Yeah, when I was playing that and I was wandering around the corridors, and the gun mechanics are pretty good, actually. But I was just walking around those corridors waiting for something to jump through a window. I didn't get a dog come through, luckily. Because I remember when the liquor came on the ceiling as well, and I probably cracked myself on that one. Because I used to play that in the dark. Oh, God, that was such a long time ago now. I just absolutely love this game. And I just really can't wait to get my teeth into it. So, yeah, that's it really for me. Looking forward to playing that Resident Evil. And that's the 25th of this month it comes out.
Oh, very good.
So it's
Stop log, is it?
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. So, but the other thing is on this, I'll just quickly say, now, you can buy a disc version of the basic game.
Yeah.
Which would be, I shopped to, I think I've seen it for about 38 quid. And the best way will be to go for the deluxe version. But the deluxe version isn't on a disc. It's digital only. And you get, it's £55 for that.
For a deluxe version, I suppose, if that's got a season pass with it.
There's not a season pass. You've got a DLC pack. You've got some extra guns. You've got some extra costumes. But what tempted me after chatting to Nikki this afternoon about it, it's got the original Resident Evil 2 soundtrack. And what you can do is you can switch the soundtrack when you're playing the game. so you can have the original soundtrack.
Okay.
So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to play it more than once, and I'm assuming if it's going to go the way I think it will go, you'd be definitely playing this twice because you'll have two characters to intermix with. Because originally you had Leon, and then second time you had Claire. So yeah, really can't wait for that. Really pumped. What about yourself? What have you been up to?
Well, one of the games that was in Humble Bundle this next time round was The Division on PC. So I thought, I'm going to give it a go, just to see what it was like. So, see how different it is. And I've actually really quite enjoyed playing it, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, really?
Much more than I did on the console, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, enjoyed it a lot more. Maybe it's because it's been a while and I know exactly what to do in terms of it as a game. Because obviously you've completed the game before now as well. But it's just really quite nice to actually go, into that game, start afresh, and just slowly starting working your way around New York City.
Yeah, I don't know how far. I don't think I got to the very end in the end of the game, to be honest.
I thought that we completed it.
Or did we? I can't remember now.
Yeah, because if you remember, the end was very anticlimactic because there was a fight with a helicopter.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't. I don't remember much about it. I remember playing the game, but it's been such a long time now. The
game seemed to finish on a whimper rather than, a bang.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't really remember finishing the game.
Probably. And we got the second game coming out soon, haven't we?
Yeah. And that's why one of the reasons why I wanted to play it was to, get myself back in the zone with it, as it were. And try and build up a bit of anticipation for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, graphically on the PC, it looks absolutely superb. It runs, like lightning on greased rails. Do you know what I mean? It's so smooth.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But it still does come back to one thing for me, which is what I've maintained about this game all the way along, and that is the walking in the game. They should have given you something like a motorbike that you could have drove quickly around.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then they could have done things like, have like races in New York, and if they'd have done like ramps going over cars and stuff like that, they could have made, that quite a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But New York's, even, the bit of New York that is, it's a big area to walk around. And you're walking around it in basically real time.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of doing to get around. I know you can jump to safe houses, but when you've jumped to the nearest safe house and something is still 800 metres away, that's a heck of a long time to be running.
Yeah.
But now I've really quite enjoyed playing it again. It's nice playing it with a keyboard and mouse as well. Makes the aiming a lot slicker. A lot slicker.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, and I think it was also for sale at about £6 something on the Origin store as well. Oh. So, well worth a look if you've not played it before. I haven't played it for a while.
Yeah.
Next game, I've been continuing to play Hitman 2. Been having a bit of a strange one with Hitman 2, really, because it has the first game.
Yeah.
I've actually been playing the first game in it as well. But obviously the first game has the new mechanics. So, so you can actually approach missions slightly differently in terms of some of the stuff that's in there. I mean, again, it looks really nice as a game. It's a very well presented sort of game. The story's a bit meh, it's not the greatest story. But in terms of gameplay, it's absolutely fantastic because, it's a sandbox sort of thing. How you kill the person is up to you. You can go in all guns blazing and probably die. Or you can, try and become the silent assassin. And there are so many different ways in which you can kill your targets. I mean, so many. You know, when you actually look, there's, I think one of the missions is sort of like about 30 or 40 objectives to do in the game. You know, you have to keep doing it multiple times, and that's quite what I like as well. Because if you make a bit of a song and dance in terms of your mission, and you end up, you know, being discovered or a body found or whatever, and then you finish the mission, you can actually think, well, actually, I want to do that a bit better and go back into the game and redo that mission again. And you'll know what you've already, you know, everything will still be the same, but you'll have better knowledge about where people are going to be at certain times. And things like using distractions, for example, where, you know, there was one target, and this was on the original portion of the game, where you have to kill 2 people. It's the second level on, so it's a first level in the main story that when you come out of the prologue. And there's 2 people at this, you know, swanky event. And the way that I killed the woman was, got into a costume, so I was dressed as a waiter, went up to the top floor past the guards who, if you're in any other outfit, recognise you, wandered around, sneaked into her room, and then turned on the tap in her room so it flooded the sink. That then brought her bodyguard in. I killed him, stuck him in a wardrobe, then switched on the radio that was next to the tap. That brought her in, killed her silently, stuck her in the same wardrobe as well. She never got discovered.
Yeah, there is a lot of different ways to play this game, I must admit.
Yeah, and I have to admit, one of the first levels on the second part of the game, you know, the proper levels, I think it's when you start actually, you come along on a boat and you're all blacked out, and you go to this house and you have to find your way in. Obviously there are security cameras around, and you lose points if you're spotted on a security camera, so you have to shoot them and stuff like that. Get into this locked house, explore the house, find a computer, get some information, kill a target, and then, you know, get out of there before anyone discovers you. And that's really, you know, that was a really good fun one to do, because there's this person, your target, is always with someone else. So what I did was waited for this person, you know, I hid outside the window and then saw this person talking to the other one. One of them went into the shower and then it all steamed up. So I killed my target and stuck her in the cupboard before I could be discovered, and I hopped it out of the window and then escaped. But when I got to my boat, it was surrounded by guards.
Yeah.
And there's guards walking all over. But, you know, there's these long weeds that you can, you know, go through. So what I did was went past where my boat was, and there was a vehicle. So I shot the barrels in the back of my vehicle. That caused an explosion. All of the guards went rushing to see what was going on, and then I legged it to my boat and off I went. So, undiscovered.
Yeah, it's very clever. Sometimes, though, when you're doing so much stealth, I just want to go and shoot something.
Well, you can do it that way as well if you want. You just won't get as good a rating.
No, that's right.
But this is like a proper stealth game, and it's stealth done well. That's the more important thing. It is done very, very well. There's also a sniper challenge mode as well. Like, you know, if you remember, if you pre-ordered the Hitman Absolution game, you would get access to Sniper Challenge, and then later on I started giving it away for free. So basically, you just, you know, have 12 targets that you've got to kill. 12 bodyguards, I think it is, plus 3 other targets, so 15 in total.
Yeah.
But there are all sorts of other things that you can do as well, like this one event, there's a wedding going on. So to get one of the sort of like challenges is to ruin the wedding, but not by killing people. So to do that, you've got to shoot the bride's bouquet, shoot the lights where the photographer is, shoot the glass of wine that the vicar has, shoot the cage where the doves are to let them out early, and then shoot the violin, the mic, and the piano that are being played for the wedding. Which is another nice, quite nice little challenge for you to do. But you've still got to hit all of your targets as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you discovered when if someone sees a person get shot, then that will set the alarm, and then everybody will go. You have like 10 seconds to shoot the person who's seen you and make it so that they can't be found. So at the top of the building, there's like guards walking along, and if you shoot them as they're walking past the window, then that'll make them fly through the window, and then they'll be in the inside and it won't be discoverable. You can do things like shoot microphones which will fall and flatten people so it looks like an accident.
Yeah, so there could be like something that's hanging on a rope, and obviously walk underneath it, you can then...
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Like, there's a big chandelier that you can shoot that'll come and kill people. Oh, I forgot on that wedding thing, you also have to shoot the wedding cake as well. But there's all sorts of things like that, and then there's other things like rubber ducks that are hidden in the, in the grounds. Like there's one on the head of a statue, and then there's another one by a river and stuff like this. And you can also play this 2-player as well. And another thing that's quite good on this mode is there's like these little ponds around the place because it's all this, beautiful garden sort of thing. And if you shoot a person when they're in front of a pond, they'll fall in, and then the body will be obscured, so you won't be able to find them. So that then doesn't alert other people. But if someone sees them falling because of being shot, that'll set the alarm off. Yeah, I sort of fell out of love with Hitman, to be honest. I think if you played this, I think you might change your mind. Because it is, it's really enjoyable. It's nearly as good as Absolution, which I think was the best one. And thinking of Absolution, there is actually now, released on the 10th, the new Hitman HD Collection Enhanced, which has, I think, Blood Money and Absolution in it. So they've taken the HD and they've made it 4K with extra bells and whistles and stuff like that. But get this, it's 50 quid. Wow. For remasters of, 10-year-old games? Nah. That's a bit pricey, isn't it? It's disgraceful, that price. If they'd have turned round and said, this is £30, I'd have been front of the queue. Or £25.
Which, to be honest, they have been most of the time, haven't they?
This sort of game has, yeah. And I think that we'll see this price plummet in weeks. Just like Fallout 76, which the last time I saw that was £9.49 on PC.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Some video game prices are absolutely dropping so quickly. But late last year, games were holding the price so well. But anyway, but really good game. There's the levels are really, really varied as well. So, like there's another level where you're at like a Grand Prix and you've got to kill one of the drivers of a vehicle, which you can make it look like an accident. And also the driver's father as well. Yeah. Who's like this millionaire tycoon sort of thing. So it's all, it's a lot of variety, lots of challenges and, things for you to discover and, all of that sort of stuff. So hours and hours of playability in it. There really is. Yeah. And, the sniper challenge, doing it 2-player would be fun if I had someone else to play it with. But I've been playing this on both Xbox One and PC. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So, yeah. I might see what I don't know what I must have something I've got in the... I must own something on Hitman somewhere on the line. Well, Hitman, the first one in this series, the one that was released episodically, that's on Game Pass. Okay. So you can play it there. Yeah. So have a look at that if I was you. Yeah, will do. Because there's some really good things in there. And if you want to have a look at my YouTube, I've done a couple where I've actually done a run through of some of the levels, or on the training missions. Because if you're wandering around, you very quickly until you learn how to play the game, you very quickly get discovered. I found.
Which one? I remember, as I said, I put this before. I remember being in a crowd of people at a party.
Yeah,
and then got to poison someone.
I think that was Blood Money. But in matter of fact, it's most of them because
you probably poisoned everyone in every game. Probably
you can poison someone on every level, basically. If you can find a rat poison. I mean, there was one on the like the prologue sort of chapter, and what I did there was got some rat poison, put it in this guy's drink. That then made him rush to the loo. I was hiding in the loo that he was going to, came out of the cupboard. While he was puking his guts up down the toilet, I drowned him in his own vomit and then put him in the cupboard and then left. So there's some great moments. And like, there's another one on another level on the first Hitman where your target is like this spy defector sort of bloke.
Yeah.
And he's going to fly off to Russia, and you have to disguise yourself as a maintenance engineer. And then, one of the ways to kill him is disguise yourself as a maintenance engineer, go to the aircraft, fix the ejector seat, and then go and get him to try out, do a safety check run through with the ejector seat, and he ends up dying. So but that's only one way, and there's always multiple ways of actually killing targets.
Yeah,
and that's what I like, because it allows you to go back and try something new in the same game or in the same level. The levels they're designed to be played multiple times, and then also you've got the elusive targets as well, which are one-hit games. So, and they're normally famous people. So there was Sean Bean recently, who was the elusive target. And you'll have seen him advertising Hitman for it as well, while he was the elusive target. And they come up every so often, and you have one go at it, and if you die, or you don't kill your target, that's it. You don't get another chance.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Which is quite clever as well. And I've never done one of those yet. But, and they're on various different maps as well. So, well worth a look.
Cool. What's, you got another game there, last game?
Last game, because, well, like I said, I've obviously played a lot of games. I've completed 9 games on the PlayStation alone this week, so...
Yeah, we'd be here till Christmas.
We would be, so I'm just sticking it to some of the major ones. So, I've been playing The Surge. Do you remember this one?
I'm not sure if I do, actually.
Right, well, it's an interesting game, this, because it's basically Bloodborne, sort of Dark Souls game, merged with the look of a sort of post-apocalypse Fallout stroke Mass Effect universe. Best way I can describe it. So basically, it's one of those games that's like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, where when you die, you respawn and you've lost all of your equipment, and you've got to go back to where you were to get your equipment back. And it's about, basically the game is about cyborgs. So you're, when the game first starts, you're sat on a train going into the city. And then when you arrive in the city, you've suddenly realised that you're in a wheelchair, because your character starts to move, and they're, stuck in this wheelchair. You have to wheel yourself to where you're going. And it's this company that's doing these cybernetic implants with exoskeletons to, allow people to be able to walk again and stuff like that. So something goes wrong, and then during the procedure, you're not given anaesthetic or anything, you pass out, and when you wake up, the whole world's gone to hell, and, there's rubble piles where buildings were and all of that sort of stuff as well. And everything seems to be really overgrown and all of this, that and the other. So what you have to do is improve your equipment and get around your world. And every time that you set off, you'll meet the same enemies over and over again. So if you like grinding, and I know that you like grinding games, this is perfect for you.
Yeah.
So you start off fighting bad guys that are about the same level as you. You come out, you go down the stairs, there's a guy there. So then it tells you have to target where you want to go, because what you have to do is salvage parts off these other cyborgs, which can then be used to build up your cybernetic implants and improve your weapons and armor and all of that sort of thing. So, for example, you might target an arm because you want to cut the arm off because you want the attachment that they've got on the arm. And you have to do that several times in order to get the attachment. You get the initial blueprint and you got to get the parts for it and stuff like that.
Yeah, sounds very familiar.
Yeah. So when you've got as far as you go, a bit like Gambit, you go and cash it in. Yeah? Cash it in, you set off again. As soon as you've cashed it in, all of those bad guys respawn, and then you've got to go through the process again and again and again until you've got enough to upgrade your equipment. Once you've started doing that, when you come up to some of these enemies, which will have, taken you a good few hits at first, they're like one hit and they're gone. So it becomes over time, less and less and less, but they give you less and less and less in return as well. And then you've got to open up new routes through this, labyrinth of different buildings and, collapsed structures and whatever to get to where your end goal is. And then there are these like Goliath sort of sized, mechs that you've got to go up with and all of that sort of stuff. And that's basically what the game is. There's an RPG element for, about growing your equipment, but also there's abilities as well, so you can improve like health and that way. It does kind of like remind me a bit like the Pip-Boy sort of thing about, targeting certain parts, but you don't see that outline because it's all done third person. So it'll just highlight the area where you're going to be targeting, as it were. In terms of graphics, very little difference between a PC and Xbox One X version. Not played it on PlayStation. And if you like Dark Souls and you like sci-fi, this is your match made in heaven because it's both of them added together.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it. Okay.
So we'll come away from games and we'll jump into the movies.
In quest of a better life.
Okay, so movies, TV and streaming. A little bit of news. I can't take myself. I can't really say this. I'm so upset. Do you want to read it?
Okay.
Because I'm going to cry.
We're both in a state of mourning on this one. Paramount and Viacom has discreetly pulled the plug on the 4th chapter in their Star Trek reboot movie franchise. So, barring a re-emergence or change of heart, Bad Robot's rebooted Star Trek franchise is no more, and it's evidently because of Star Wars.
That even hurts even more.
I know, it does hurt me even more. The report suggests that the reason was that it was felt that Star Trek was filling the hole between franchises like Star Trek and Lord of the Rings. The return of the big movie franchise such as Star Wars negated the need for Star Trek movies as they were no longer special. The increased production values in TV also didn't help, but now that Star Wars is back in the cinema, it's reported there is no need for people to be excited over Star Trek releases, which is a complete load of rubbish.
But do you remember back in the day when Star Wars was released?
Star Trek, the motion picture, was released afterwards.
Yeah, and Paramount said, because they were going to go and do the new TV show, I think it was going to be called Phase 2, or Star Trek Phase 2.
Yeah.
So this was on the go, and then they said, no, we're not going to do that now. We want to do a movie. Look what Star Wars is doing. We want to make loads of money. And that's what kicked in Star Trek the Motion Picture.
I know. It's utterly ridiculous. And to be honest, I think that this just goes to prove how much Paramount are completely out of touch with Star Trek fans.
Yeah. I mean, with the increase in cons, as in conventions, and the amount of money that's made in them is incredible.
Oh God, yeah.
And obviously we got the new TV. We got this month. We got
Discovery this time on Friday. Oh, Friday.
Yeah, 17th 1701. How cool is that? So we got that. Obviously we got the Picard story to pick up pace on that series.
Yeah.
So we are not totally disheartened, but
we've got Star Trek meets Kill Bill.
Well, if that's going to be the next Star Trek, I'm happy if I can just get something out there.
I'm not. I don't think that Quentin Tarantino is an overrated director.
In your opinion. But
I think he is. But
nevertheless, I still think there's room for Star Trek and Star Wars on the big screen.
I do.
And I think a lot of other people would agree with us. Some may joke and say Star Wars, or you got their fanboys out there, but I think they got it together with Chris Pine and the crew.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see if we hear anything from Simon Pegg, being he was obviously writing some of the stories.
And seeing that he's involved in both franchises as well.
Yeah. And yeah, because, I really think, even though the Star Trek Beyond wasn't the best movie in the world, I still preferred the first two, personally.
I liked Into Darkness, and I know that most people call it, but I thought it was
do you know what? Forget the oohs and ahs about how that all got released and keeping it quiet and who's playing, blah, blah, blah. But it's all right. I think those two movies, they bounce off each other well with the characters.
Yeah.
Real shame that we lost one of the characters due to an accident when he passed away, but that was
really tragic.
Yeah. But moving forward, I think they could still do with a story. I'm sure there's plenty of stories they could pull off with this.
Yeah, I forgot what his surname was. It was Anton, wasn't it? Anton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember. He was playing Chekhov. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would have left a hole in Star Trek, but to be honest, Star Trek started off without Chekhov in the first season anyway.
Yeah, no, he did, and he wasn't even around when Carl Noonan Singh was kicking around.
No.
Even though he said, he
Yeah.
recognised him. I said, yeah, he must have been watching Star Trek on the telly then, wasn't he?
Well, no, he might have just not be, might be, in engineering or something like that at that time. But no, I mean, I know that I talk about Star Wars a lot, but that's because probably you don't, but I know that you'll fill up about Star Trek. But I love them both, and I love them both in exactly the same way as, like if I had two children, you can't really say one's better than the other. They are both, I grew up on both of them, and they are both very special and very dear to us. And I think that the Bad Robot interpretation of Star Trek with the Kelvin timeline, I really enjoyed all of those movies. Yeah. There wasn't one that I didn't enjoy, and they were one of the first ones when I got a 4K player, I said, right, I'm having all of those because they're available.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about movies I watched over the Christmas period, but I did actually sit down and rewatch Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan over the holiday.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it was one of them was on the TV. I sat and watched Generations and also First Contact.
Oh, so, you remember I messaged you in Generations.
Yeah,
but Kirk's died.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that I really, when I sat down and watched them, and I still say Star Trek 2 is still my favourite, but they're great movies,
Yeah.
And we've got all these comic book heroes at the moment doing the rounds. A lot of those, and with the Fox takeover imminent with Disney, we're going to see even more because they're probably going to bring other characters into that universe.
They'll reboot it.
So, but yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to see the Kelvin timeline as it is with who they've got in place to carry on with another movie. But
maybe they thought some of it might have been a bit too confusing.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
I think because if people think that's Star Trek and that's Captain Kirk and that's the way it is for them, do you know what I mean? If they're not really au fait with what was in the past.
Yeah.
But on another note, I've got some other news I've noticed. Now, one of my favourite sort of horror sci-fi franchise is getting a reboot. And that's Final Destination.
Yes, there's a sequel, isn't it? Not a reboot.
Well, no, apparently they were going to do a sequel, but they're going to maybe do it as a reboot instead.
Right.
Nevertheless, I'm a big fan of those movies. I've got all of those at home somewhere in my collection. I'm looking forward to that. But there's another sequel which has been confirmed with a certain star. And if he wasn't going to be in it, they wouldn't be making this movie. And what has happened is Entertainment Weekly in the States have obtained a statement from Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yes.
And after many years of anticipation, I'm thrilled that I'm Coming to America 2 is officially moving forward. Well, I can't wait for that.
I wonder if James Earl Jones will still be in it.
Well, they're saying they want to bring everyone back into this. He said, but basically, we're assembling a great team that will be led by Craig Brewer, who just did a great, amazing job on Dolomite. And I'm looking forward to bringing all those classic and beloved characters back to the big screen. So I can sit and watch that film any night of the week. Do you know what I mean? It really does put a smile on my face.
Oh, yes.
So that'd be cool if they can do that. And I think Eddie Murphy's had a bit of a dip in his career over the last few years.
Yeah, he was at his height, wasn't he, in like the 80s and 90s, and he's slowly gone on a decline.
So that will be. I would look forward to that. That would be great if that turns around. So, okay. Any other news you can think of been around?
No, that's about it.
Okay, so cinema releases for the 18th of January. We've got Glass.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I haven't seen the reviews yet, so looking forward to seeing how that's going to turn out. We've got Mary Queen of Scots.
Oh, man, where's my head?
Yeah, Beautiful Boy and Monsters and Men. So Glass, yeah. I don't know how that's going to turn out. It's going to be weird.
Mm.
It'll either be a cult movie or it just flop on its head, but we'll see.
I've heard that it's going to be. It's supposed to be quite good.
Mm.
So, but it's got what you call it, McAvoy in it, hasn't it? And he's a really good actor as well. Yeah. He was brilliant in the one that's I only watched it the other week as well. Split, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Which was the one in between?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, because
Unbreakable. People don't know that Unbreakable was the first film.
Yeah, Split was the second,
and Glass
is the third.
But have you heard the story about saying that the Sixth Sense has something to do with it as well?
No,
there's something I read about that, but I sort of took that on a whim, really.
I was under the impression that all of R. Night Shyamalan's movies were supposed to be in the same universe.
Yeah, so that might make sense if that is the case, but we'll see. Okay, do you want to do the Blu-ray?
Okay, nothing absolutely fantastic. Well, one thing maybe. There's Doctor Who Season 11 on Blu-ray and DVD. For those of you who like such things, Dragon Ball Z Movie Collection 5, the Royal Trilogy, and also Red Dwarf Season 1 await on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and for you horror fans, you've got The Nun, which I'm quite keen to see, actually.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I've got a Blu-ray coming on in Feb, but that's a little way off yet. And unfortunately, the DVD Blu-ray I'm getting is already being released next week in the UK, in the States, which is a bit annoying.
Well, I got 4 classic movies the other day on Blu-ray.
Is that the ones we're going to be talking about?
Nope.
Oh, no, something else as well. Okay.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what, the 4K, yeah?
No, I just got the 2K.
Okay.
And also Starship Troopers.
Bug Hunts Are Us.
Yeah. I love Starship Troopers. It's been years since I've seen that film.
Oh, I can't remember the last time I saw it, to be honest. But yeah, I've got Halloween coming in February. So 4K.
I thought Halloween was later in the year. Ba-bum-bum.
Yes, we all know that. Anyhow, do you want to do the charts?
The charts. So at number 5 we have Bumblebee. At number 4 we have a Event Cinema Andre Rouge 2019 live New Year concert from Sydney. At number 3 we have Aquaman, which I saw and was great.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is The Favourite, which it clearly isn't because it's number 2. And at number 1 is Mary Poppins Returns, which I have zero interest in, I have to admit.
Mind you, The Favourite did get a BAFTA or 2 the other week, so it's doing well, so it's in line for an Oscar.
Yep.
And there's talk that it'd be great to see Bohemian Rhapsody get an Oscar.
Oh, it would be. To be honest, Rami Malek, he deserves an Oscar for his performance as Freddy. He was
So I don't know
brilliant.
I'm not sure when they come out with the actual nominees, but
I bet you anything he'll be nominated.
I hope so. So yeah, so Blu-ray DVD charts. 5 at 5, we've got The Meg.
Yeah.
From 6 up to 4, we've got Deadpool 2. 3 at 3, we've got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. 2 and 2, Mission Impossible Fallout. And 1 and 1, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And you know, I have all the top 4 in 4K.
Yeah. There's a few movies I'd like to have in 4K at the minute, but money doesn't grow on trees, so unfortunately not. I do want the Matrix. Which I'll probably lift off of you, hopefully, because you got the trilogy now, which you're going to talk about in a minute.
I have.
But yeah, I think I prefer just the original, personally.
No, you want the set.
Why?
Because it's the set.
No, I can be
OCD-ish.
OCD-ish. I can just have the one, and I'll be happy. But so, what have I been watching? Really, I've been watching women's shows. Really. We're up to season 14 of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh God!
So really been in. No, don't hear me out here. The characterization of these characters has really worked well, and just been enjoying it with me. It's something to watch with the missus.
Mm-hmm.
We're on season. We're midway through season 14. Season 15 is running at the moment on Sky. So I said to her, what we'd probably do is we'll probably stop at season 14. Then wait for season 15 to finish recording.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've got a stack load of Arrow and The Flash to watch.
You need to catch up on that.
Well, I will do. I mean, there is so much to watch there. And I've got Red Sparrow. That was on Sky Movies this week. So I've got to watch that at some point. I've done a great deal of movie watching. Just a few ones over Christmas. Nothing special. I think we talked about Peter Rabbit on the last show, didn't we? But this actually, I'd like to go to the cinema if I could this week. I won't be able to do it, but I really want to see Stan and Ollie.
Do you know? I have to admit, the Stan and Ollie movie to me is a film that has been made 25 years later than it should have been.
Why 25?
Because I think that if this had been made 25 years ago, it would have had a lot more meaning to people who were around then.
Well, it's funny because my daughter went to see it with a boyfriend last night.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to them as yet. I've said, I've been really wanting to watch it, and I listened. Obviously, because of their age, I want their take on it. Because I don't think they've really seen any of the shorts that have been, that we've had. I mean, if you want to watch any of Laurel and Hardy, just go on YouTube. You can see one of my favourites, The Music Box. That's on there. It's only 20 minutes long.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I grew up with Saturday mornings, or and during the summer holidays, black and white showing of Stan and Ollie, but also Harold Lloyd as well.
Yeah,
but I think, to be honest, my generation was the last generation that watched those.
So yeah, it's interesting to see the reaction from people from a generation below us that won't really know much about them.
But what I mean is, I think in terms of this, I think like my parents' generation, I think that my dad 25 years ago would have loved this movie. I think he would have gone to see it and thoroughly wrapped it up because it was his generation, as it were. He grew up on those sort of ones. But
so we did as well, but...
Yeah, but to a lesser extent. It was more of an event, I think, for people who were, born 30s, 40s.
But the funny thing is, the last time they were seen, I saw a YouTube clip, the last bit of footage with them together.
Yeah.
and that was 1956.
Yeah.
And one of them had a stroke. I'm not sure which one it was now. Well, I had a minor stroke and he lost a load of weight, but he looked completely different.
Well, that'd have been
Oliver Hardy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I listened to Mark Kermode's review over the weekend, and what he was saying about how touching it is, because it is this isn't about their movies. This is after that when they come to the UK.
Yeah.
And the background story of their partnership and their marriages is a sad story to a certain degree anyway.
Mm.
So it's a very touching movie. But I did see a clip of it, and if you haven't seen Laurel Hardy, The Music Box, you wouldn't get that clip. So this is no spoiler because it's a scene. They were in the train station, and one of their trunks fell all the way down the stairs on the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And they just looked at each other, and I just smiled and laughed because I know what they were thinking because of the piano. Do you remember?
I do.
So it was just, I really hope to get to see this film at some point. It's they're just one of my, some of the comics duos of way back in the day, that they were one of the first, and they're hilarious for me. I mean, some people might find it too dry, and they might not find it funny, but I do.
But it's like I said, I still think that we'll get it, and I will appreciate it. But I think that the people who would have appreciated it before are the people who were a little bit older than either of us, and that's why I say I think it's been made too late.
But that would have been two generations ago would have done so, because they would have remembered even more, obviously.
Yeah. Well, that's why you said about 25 years.
But I didn't. Do you know what I didn't? It was at one point I didn't realise who was playing alongside Steve Coogan until I saw him out of costume.
Yeah. Because
I didn't recognise him.
He looks totally different,
and he looks like Oliver Hardy. But I just thought, wow, that's very. I mean, prosthetic makeup's going to come a long way over the years, and that's why this film probably wouldn't have looked as good.
Well, it has, and evidently nowadays, the way that a lot of the prosthetics are actually made is before, when you look at Star Trek, Michael Dorn used to have to go in extra early to get, like, his Klingon ridges put on.
Yeah.
But now they're like masks.
Yeah.
That they pull on.
Same as that Leonard Nimoy was in hours before William Shatner turned up.
Yeah.
Just to get those ears put on.
Yeah, it's completely different
And
nowadays.
if you go back to even one of my favourite sci-fi movies of all time, Planet of the Apes, what was involved in getting that lot put together every shoot and every morning would have been...
Heaven only knows.
Because there was so many people. I think they did have masks at some point for some of the background characters.
Mm.
So it wasn't so prominent on the prosthetics, but yeah, it's just incredible, really.
It is.
So, anyhow, what have you been watching?
I've been watching the Matrix Trilogy in 4K.
Mm. Is it as shiny as it says it's to be?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And you know what? I'm actually watching the other two has given me a very different view of those movies now.
Right.
To, think, actually, they're quite good.
Mm.
Because I think they kind of, in a way, painted themselves into a bit of a corner with the end of the first Matrix, because they set it up as a standalone, and then, we're a big success, we need to do it, do another one.
Mm.
And that's why the visual style, I think, is slightly different in the second two.
Yeah.
But when you actually, watch it, it's a very coherent story, in terms of everything that happens. All of them play their parts absolutely brilliantly. Mm. It's got a fantastic cast in it. And, the whole thing of, the whole notion of Neo being the one, but this is a one that keeps going round and round in a cycle, and he breaks that cycle, which is basically what this story is, because the inherent flaw in the Matrix is giving people choice.
Yeah.
And if you don't give people the choice, certain people will break out of the Matrix, and that's basically what it's about.
Mm.
And the whole concept of the fact that Lawrence Fishburne is there because the previous The One got him out, or, got people out who got him out.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing, wasn't it? Is that, they went down, they killed everybody in Zion, and then The One started pulling them out, and then One was taken out of the Matrix.
Mm.
And, and then it goes round in a cycle again, and then they go back and kill everybody in Zion and start again. And I love that as a concept as well. But also maybe some of the messages that are in there as well, in the terms of the fact that actually they rely on us and we're relying on them, because if we didn't have the machines down in the basement of Zion filtering the air and doing our sewage and everything, we'd die.
Mm.
So it's sort of like, they're establishing in the second film this symbiosis which has to resolve itself. And I think it's a shame that the woman who played the Oracle died.
Yeah.
After the second film, and then had to be replaced. And they didn't replace her with a lookalike, but they gave this story of I made a choice, and there was consequences from that choice, which resulted in her changing her appearance, which is a little bit okay. So there's something else going on in the Matrix other than what we already know.
Mm. Does the boxer have there's a huge documentary called, if I remember rightly, The Matrix Revisited? Does it have that on it?
No.
Oh, that's a shame, because that is a really good documentary.
I don't know, actually. I'd have to double check.
Yeah.
It might do, actually. I think it's got all of the ones that were on the discs, the original DVDs or whatever.
Yeah, because I had it on HD DVD, the box set.
Yeah.
And I got that from the States. And came with that was it's called The Matrix Revisited. And it was it's a 2-hour documentary on the making of it. And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Really well worth a watch.
Is it revisited? Because I thought that was the one that was a load of shorts that explained some of the background stuff to the Matrix.
It's just a documentary with behind the scene footage.
Yeah.
Of the first film.
Yeah, because what they did the Matrix, and then they did 5 different types of 20-minute shows. Yeah,
they did. There are some other extras that might have been on the discs at some point.
No, this was a separate disc.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what it was called.
Okay, well, keep chatting, because I'm going to send you a picture and see if you remember it. It might be this one. But so you've watched all three movies?
All 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed them. Even the last one, which I never used to really rate that much, but I don't know, maybe it's just I feel like I got a bit more insight into it or whatever. But as a trilogy, I think it holds up.
Mm.
And I really enjoyed the whole of the story. So I think was it the Coen brothers, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with those.
Mm.
So I would recommend it in 4K if anybody wants to pick it up. I think that to buy the Matrix is like £35, and to buy the trilogy is £39. So, there's not a lot of difference between them.
Yeah.
The next trilogy, which I'm 2/3 of the way through, is the Dark Knight Trilogy.
I have that. So, yes.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
Fantastic, yeah. I think he's my favourite Batman as well.
It's just a different part of the universe. I still class Michael Keaton as one of my favourites because of...
I do as well, yeah, actually, yeah. He is good, but I prefer the Dark Knight Batman to his slightly.
Mm.
I think Michael Keaton's one was just a little bit more kind of... Well, actually, his Bruce Wayne was more wacky, wasn't he? Rather than anything else.
But I think he was darker, though. More darker than Christian Bale.
Do you think?
Mm.
Well, I suppose he had that bit more of a psycho thing, even though Christian Bale was American Psycho.
Yeah. Actually...
A Welshman being American Psycho.
Just going back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Now, The Matrix Reloaded, there is something different there as well. I don't know what that is. There's a different... That is that Blu-ray or 4K? That is just Blu-ray. So that might have Matrix Revisited on it.
Mm.
But yeah, check that out. And they're just saying that Matrix is 20 quid and the trilogy is 44.99, 45 quid.
Oh, right. They've changed it since, because when The Matrix first came out, I'm sure it was £35.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so go back to what you were saying. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think that the Batman movies hold up really well.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Because they are quite a few years since they've been done, but completely enjoyable story. All of the actors are great. I do like Alfred, but with Michael Caine, I think he plays a a really good part. Commissioner Gordon, played by Gary Oldman, as well. You know, he's really good. I love when he takes over the Batmobile in, you know, Batman Begins, and he jumps over the bridge or whatever, and he goes, "I've got to get me one of these."
It's funny because you think about you got Liam Neeson, Michael Caine, you've got all these, and you got I can't remember. Sorry, the girl that played Catwoman. So you've got quite a lot of big actors in the whole three movies, really, if you look at it as a whole.
Yeah, you have.
And money for bucks.
You've got Tom Hardy as well.
And Tom Hardy. So money for your bucks there, you're getting Batman Begins is 140 minutes. The Dark Knight then moves up to 152 minutes. And then The Dark Knight Rises is 164 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of money there for what you're getting.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really good trilogy of movies, I think. Well worth picking up, you know, but I was very glad to get that for Christmas. Yeah,
what'd you class? Do you have a favourite out of the three?
I think the second one, because Heath Ledger's brilliant. He steals the movie.
Yes, it's he does a bit, and just been a bit unfortunate how it ended for him. But I do you know, if I was going to rate these in the three, I think I'd put Dark Knight Rises last, then I'd put Batman Begins, and then Dark Knight. Yeah,
I would go with that. To be honest, I think that'd be a fair order for them.
But those sort of films, you turn the lights out, you turn it up really nice and loud, and just enjoy the films, I think.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. Brilliant movie. The only thing that I've found, and I don't know, I don't think it's a disc, I think it's more my player, is at a certain point it just sort of, it must be like switching layers or something and having a bit of difficulty because...
Do you get a stutter, do you, or something?
Yeah, it gets stuck. And I have to kind of like fast forward it a couple of seconds, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. I don't think it's a disc though, because a disc looks immaculate.
It's not the firmware, is it?
No, I've checked that.
Well, okay. Which one's that on?
The first two.
Okay, I don't think I noticed it. I don't think I noticed it at all, to be honest. But
did you play it on Xbox?
Yeah,
I might try it on the Xbox, see if it does the same thing.
Yeah, just find it where the point is, if you can remember where it is, and just zip forward and see how it goes.
It seems to be if I just play it through, because if I zip forward to that bit and play it, it doesn't do it. It's almost like it's a buffer overrun or something because of the length of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Next thing I wanted to talk about, have you watched Titans yet?
No. Now, I'm right saying this is coming to Netflix, surely, isn't it?
It's already on Netflix.
Did it start this week, did it?
Yeah.
I did. I did see something about it, and I know about the last episode, which is really weird. I only know about a little bit about it.
Well, don't tell me about the last episode because I'm watching them at the moment.
The only reason it's because of what was in it, and that's what prompted me to go, ooh, I might have to look at this.
Right, okay.
But, yeah, so have you watched the first episode?
I've watched the first 4 or 5 episodes.
Okay, and how do you find it? Because I'm just going to look on my app on my phone, and I'm going to actually add it to my list now if it's there.
Well, if you understand what I mean, my exposure to Teen Titans, because they weren't a thing when I was sort of like old enough to really, you know, it was Batman, it was Superman, but Teen Titans weren't a thing.
I've just put it on I've got it on my phone, Netflix, straight away. What's the main banner for it? Add to my list, there you go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Titans weren't a thing for me at all when I was growing up. It was just the main superheroes, and Robin was like with Batman, or he wasn't anywhere.
Well, that's what I didn't understand, because this is after Batman, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's when he was supposed to become Nightwing.
Yeah. Which
is a bit weird. So, anyway, my only exposure to it has been Teen Titans on Cartoon Network. And a couple of DC cartoons, you know, showing like the Teen Titans as well. But this is just called Titans. And to be honest, Robin, he's a detective. He's not a teenager. You know, he's a cop. He's abandoned Batman and moved on. And, you know, all of the other characters that are in there as well. Cyborg's in there. I don't like Cyborg, I've got to admit. He looks more like, you know, he's a reject from The Wizard of Oz. As in, I'm a Tin Man and I need, you know, need a heart or whatever it is that Tin Man has. So I was a bit disappointed with him because his whole face is sort of like metal. It's not like half, which every other rendition of Cyborg is, you know, part human, part not.
Right.
So that's a bit disappointing, but that's the only thing that disappoints. This is not the type of thing you would watch with your child who would watch Teen Titans.
You
know, there is a trailer with a very definite draws the line, and it's in the TV series as well, where someone says about Batman and Robin turns around and says F Batman.
Right.
So that sets out, you know, the stall for where this is going. It's very, very gritty indeed. Blood and gore and, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So a very grown-up thing.
Yeah.
Indeed. But well worth it. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. Got to watch it, man. Watch it in your lunch hour.
Remind me, when you finish Good Place, I want to talk about another TV show that I haven't watched yet that, to me, you want to talk about. So,
well, I'm only going to very briefly touch on The Good Place. The Good Place is back after its Christmas break. There's only going to be, I think, 3 more episodes in this season.
Well, I'll probably wait till they're done, and then I will watch Kanan then, I think. Yeah.
Well, they've moved the day as well. Oh, no, it's not. It's Friday was the day. So Fridays at the back. Episode 10 has just done, and it's going up to 13, so there's only another 3 left. But I'm enjoying it now. I'm, you know, still, you know, and it was a bit slow at the beginning of the season, but it picked up pace. And there's another new nice little twist.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah, well worth it. But I'm not going to say any more because you start talking about that, you immediately start doing spoilers no matter what you do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's that sort of show.
Yeah.
So tell me what it is that you've been watching.
So I haven't actually been watching it now. I've been hearing a lot about this on the social media.
Is this Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so we're about the episode called Bandersnatch.
Yeah, watched it.
And you see, people think, oh, this is a new idea. So obviously what you can do in this, you can interact with the show on how the story outcome finishes. And I just thought, can you do that on your phone? So I've just started it on my Galaxy 9, and it starts with a brief introduction, and it comes up with a tablet on the TV, and you hit yes, and therefore you can do it then off your phone. So because obviously you can use a remote on your main TV if you're watching this show.
Yeah, it's very clever.
Yeah, but you see, this isn't the first time we've seen this. Because if we go back to Xbox Game Pass, there's a game I played, and I must have played about 3 different endings.
And there's 7 of them.
That's Night Shift. Did you ever play that?
Yeah, I've done 6 of the 7 stories.
So anyone that's probably seen Bandersnatch and like the idea of this, if you've got an Xbox Game Pass, go on there, download Night Shift. And you're going to see it's like watching a TV show, isn't it? It's really, it's like in 4K. It's really crystal clear.
Another similar one on Game Pass is War Games.
Is it?
Oh, # War Games, yeah.
But I just thought you'd just mention that quickly because I know I need to start watching Black Mirror from the beginning. To be honest, I've not seen it. It's about 4 seasons now, so.
Yeah, I've watched them all.
I need to have a look at that. But yeah, just a bit shout out for that show because everyone's been talking about it of late. But check it. But yeah, you can do this on your phone as well, which is quite interesting. So I might actually download this to my phone, and then watch it in my leisurely lunchtimes.
After you've watched Titans.
Well, I'm just looking. I've just put it on my list to watch, and there's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, so get watching them.
But I've got Bird Box to watch as well. Yeah,
I've got that to watch as well, and there's been somebody killed because of that, hasn't there?
People, please don't cover yourself up while driving, because there's been numerous accidents of people doing the Bird Box challenge, as they call it.
Well, there's been all sorts of things. I can quite see this programme not going any further because of what the stupid things people are doing.
Well, it's only a film anyway, so
I thought it was a series.
No, it's a movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So you're not having a sequel then?
So, yeah. Anyway, that's that really. Take a quick break for a short and we'll be back, yeah?
Yep.
John, what's happening to us?
Okay, so listener question time. And we'll start with Mark as usual. He's got 2 questions for us. And the first one he has here is, do any game or movie subscription service affect whether you buy a new release or not?
Yes and no.
Yeah, after saying you've got another 5 movies or so on the go.
Yeah, well, it's yes and no, isn't it? Because the way that I look at it is, for example, thinking of movies and TV series in particular, the fact that Netflix are still showing Discovery did not stop me from buying Discovery on disc, because I know that at some point they're going to go off Netflix. So that didn't stop me.
I mean, you've enjoyed it that much that you wanted to have a copy. That's basically it, isn't it?
Well, I've got every Star Trek ever on disc in some format. And I wasn't, my OCD-ness would not have let me have the whole collection.
See, where I haven't, I actually would like to own. I don't have Next Generation, for example,
right?
Which I've seen them all. I know some inside out, but at some point, I wouldn't mind the remasters as such they did for them.
Well, I mean, I've got the Next Generation on DVD,
right?
Not on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But I want to upgrade to the DVD. I've got Enterprise on Blu-ray and I think DVD, so I'm going to be getting rid of the DVD version. And then I think other than the movies and the original series, everything else is DVD.
Yeah, so I, actually on Netflix you can watch all of Star Trek anyway.
Yeah.
Which you can do at the moment. But I would still, just because it's one of my favourite shows anyway, or sort of all time sort of thing, I would like to make sure I've got everything. But again, I've always started from the beginning where I've got the original series. I think I have it, I had it 3 times in total. So I had the DVDs that came in the blue, yellow and plastic containers. You know the ones, do you remember that?
I do, yeah. I think I've still got those as well.
Yeah, they're in my shelf. And then I did have the HD DVD.
Of Season 1.
Season 1.
Yeah, so did I.
So I think and I've got now, what I do have now is the remasters on Blu-ray, each season of those.
Yes.
As well.
Snap.
Yeah.
And I've also got the movie collection as well on Blu-ray.
Yeah, so I've got, the one I've got has got the Starfleet emblem on the front in a sort of a hologram look.
The one that I've got has the Enterprise on the front.
Oh, no, I know.
And it has all of the movies in one go.
Which is including what up to? Is that including the...
Nemesis.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. I wondered if it had the J.J. Abrams as well, but no. But yeah, that's what I have. But mine comes... My one with Blu-ray HD has a Star Trek emblem on the front, and in there is an extra DVD, which is called the Captain's something. I think it's Captain's Club or something. Yeah,
you've got the is it the Vault or something version of it or whatever?
No, the Vault. I've got the Star Trek Vault, which is 3 episodes of the original series, which were found in the vault to have missing scenes that they could show you from the original takes in the show.
Right. Which
is really interesting to see. And I'm surprised you don't own that one, actually. It's quite cheap anyway. It's only a single DVD, if I remember rightly. Or was it 3? I can't remember. But I think it's called Gene Roddenberry The Vault or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does depend whether it's gaming or not. If you love something that much and you want to have it in your collection, you will have it, won't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, it's one of those ones I want. I do want to go all Blu-ray with or 4K when it comes out.
Because that is the Achilles heel in any series you love to see. Because it's like when Disney take over Fox soon, there's rumours, or you bet your bottom dollar that Star Wars will then come out in 4K.
Yeah.
Which I think will be the last time I buy it.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it'll be the last time we'll have to buy it.
Yeah, because I won't be buying any of the other ones. I know that for sure. But yeah, no. Yeah. Interesting question. Do you want to do number 2?
What about
I'll go on.
video games?
Same thing, really, isn't it? We've got Game Pass now, which is more of a prominent thing.
Yeah, Game Pass has stopped me buying some of the Microsoft exclusives that have been, released, and also stopped me buying some of the indie games that I would have bought as well.
Yeah.
And I think Live and PSN Plus have also stopped me buying some games sometimes. There's also been games I've bought that have come on there, which is always annoying.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Question
so that's
2?
why I said yes and no.
Okay, yeah,
yes.
No, that's right. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so question 2 is, what releases are you most anticipating for 2019?
Well, I've already said it previously. For the first half of the year, I think Resident Evil 2 for me is top of the list.
Yeah.
Although I would love to play Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm not fussed over that one, to be honest, at the moment. That can probably wait. Anthem, I'm a bit hesitant about, to be honest. I'm not 100% on that at the minute.
You were really up for that before.
Yeah.
What's changed your mind?
I don't know. I've just been a bit sceptic because we're not seeing too much about it. And wait and see. I think isn't there going to be a demo shortly?
Evidently.
So we'll see if but it's EA, you see. That's my other problem.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a bit sceptical about it, to be honest.
What about Crackdown?
I'm going to take it as it comes, to be honest.
If it comes.
No, it is coming. It is being released, and it's coming out in March, I think it said. Yeah. And it's on Game Pass, so you better play it for free.
Yeah.
Let's see what it's like. I mean, it could be a sleeper hit, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? Metro Exodus.
Not bothered about the thought of that at all.
This is sort of post-apocalyptic style game in Russia. What else have we got? Days Gone on the PlayStation 4. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Because that was delayed a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm quite looking forward to Onimusha, I have to admit. What was the other one? Oh, The Division 2.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether or not you've noticed, but remember we were given the Outer Worlds, which never transpired, if you followed the Xbox.
Yes, it's still sitting in our pre-order order, isn't it?
No, I'm not sure whether or not they've taken it off us now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Because there was something that I looked at it, and it came up with some message. I can't remember what it was. It was a few weeks ago now, but I thought, oh, that's not very good. But there's a new Wolfenstein Youngblood coming out as well later on in the year.
Yeah.
I know that some people will be looking forward to Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
There's Rage 2, which should be quite good. I've played a bit of Rage,
Yeah. There's a game actually I played on there's a game on the Xbox which I thoroughly enjoyed. I never completed it because it was a bit tough.
Yeah.
And they're bringing out Catherine the Full Body.
Oh, I hated that game.
Didn't you like it?
No, I found that to be the most pretentious load of rubbish. I could not stand that game. It tried to entice basically blokes with a bit of titivation, is the way that I would describe it. And those dream sequences where you had to climb up with demons chasing you.
With buttholes hanging out. That was crazy as hell, mate. Oh, I absolutely loved it.
It was rubbish. It was absolutely terrible.
What else have we got? Ubisoft, Skull and Bones. I think that should be scheduled for this year.
Ace Combat 7, we mentioned that earlier on, but I'm quite looking forward to that.
Are you going to pick a copy up?
Not initially. Okay. I'm going to leave it for a little bit, because I've got so much at the moment. I'm just trying to, wade through backlog at the moment, because I must have picked up about, 10 games in the last month, which I haven't touched.
Fair enough. Were you a fan of Medieval on the PlayStation? Because that's being remastered, isn't it?
No, I don't think I was. I can't remember it that well, to be honest.
I remember the image of the character, but that was as much as it went, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was one that was strong in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a Bethesda game as well. We've got Rage 2, haven't we?
I mentioned that.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I must have blanked out for a second. But I'm sure we're going to get something. There might be something that we don't know about. E3 won't be far away.
No, that's true. A few months.
Yeah, and we could have something we don't know about coming in the tail end of the year.
Yeah, and there's a new Trials game as well.
Mm.
Trials Rising.
Yeah. Wasn't there going to be a new Star Wars game?
There was supposed to be, wasn't there? But
Star Wars,
whether or not that's...
The Fallen Order or something?
Something like that, yeah, but I don't think that there's a release date for that yet.
Yeah, so there's loads to look forward to.
Definitely. And if you like your strategy games, there's Tropico 6.
I've never played many of those, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's just like SimCity, but you're a dictator.
Yeah.
Or if you played, City Skylines, something like that, it's pretty much the same sort of game.
Mm.
Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah, so Paul Wilson. He says, thank goodness JJ is back as the director of Star Wars Episode 9. But do you think Disney might pull a bit of a stunt and turn Episode 9 into 2 movies? One this year and so called The Final Part, being released in May the 4th and the following year. Well, I've not heard that story before.
No, and to be honest, I don't think it will. And the reason why is because The Last Jedi paid off so many people to such an incredible extent. I think that they will want to make this film something that will appeal to the fans, because otherwise I think that Star Wars is dead.
Well, they've got to come back and...
They've got to come back strong. Do you know that there's actually a petition that you can sign to have The Last Jedi removed from Star Wars canon and the film to be officially designated not part of the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, I did see that. I think you made a post, didn't you, on Facebook?
Yeah, I was trying to get people to sign it. Terrible movie.
Yeah, anyway. Do you want to do Mark's?
Yeah, Mark Prudhome's asked, after Activision's statement in November about their disappointment in Destiny's performance, the divorce was inevitable. Now Bungie are free and not looking to be owned by anyone else. How do you think this might affect the future of the franchise? I think it'll affect it positively.
Yeah, I think it's going to just help it. Absolutely. I think it's going to just give us more of what we wanted in the first place. Because I think even Destiny was pulled back a bit originally. Something else they've mentioned, actually, which is probably going to change. I think we're going to see no exclusives, because the Sony deal was going to end with the roadmap.
Mm.
So it'll be none of this. You won't get that map because you're not with Sony. So that'd be good, because that means it's just for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And hopefully we might see cross-play with it as well.
There, that's another. Yeah, because I think other people in the gaming industry have all sort of praised Bungie for what they've done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we look forward to that.
Definitely.
See what comes out of it. Next, okay, Nicky Wilson's question, okay.
Yep.
Do you think video game stories are getting better or worse? God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn were supposed to be having a great story, but I thought they were pathetic, boring, and forgettable. Games like Final Fantasy 7, 8 and 9 on the PS1 were much better stories than Final Fantasy 15. Are devs concentrating too much on graphics than story?
Well, I have to admit I disagree with Nicky in terms of the fact that God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn I thought were both good stories. I enjoyed them. Well,
God of War got Game of the Year for bulk of the media, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And it was one of the best games of the year. To me, I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey was better, but that's down to personal preference.
Yeah.
I do know what he means, though, in terms of the fact that some long-running franchises, like Final Fantasy, the people still talk about Final Fantasy VII. I played Final Fantasy VII this week, for God's sake.
Great game.
Yeah, I played it on the Classic. Whereas Final Fantasy 15, it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, having that free reign to have so much of a big game that you could lose your way in the story, maybe. But I think everyone regarding Final Fantasy VII is still waiting to see what the remaster or the remake's going to be like.
Yeah, that could go bad.
We're still not really aware of what's going on with that.
No.
And, I think there's been some AAA RPGs out there that have had great storylines, like Fallout 3, for example. I thought that was a great one. But some people didn't like Fallout 4 as much, and so it's horses for courses. But I think Nicky Wilson will probably be more. We'll see. Let's wait until Resident Evil 2 comes out and let's see what he says about that, because he's a very hard fan of that, and he loves the canon in that story, and sometimes he's a bit picky with stuff like that. So we'll see what he comes up with on that one.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what the results are there.
But yeah, I can see his point. But then again, it depends on what you want out of a story.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Hitman 2's story isn't as good as Absolution's, but the game is fantastic. So I don't think that they're necessarily concentrating on the graphics and stuff like that. It's just the way that game plays. It is so very well adapted to what it has to do that, to be honest, you don't really need a story. The story could be, here's your assignment, kill this person. You don't need to have the link in the story chain for that. So, yeah, that's what I think. Okay, so there's one more question. Would you like to read it out? Yeah, well, it's not really a question, more like a discussion that we had with our head chef Alan, who was basically asking the question of, why is it all of a sudden that when we're talking about trophies, why are platinum trophies suddenly getting a recognition after years of, Sony, PlayStation has a lot of them not really paying them attention or giving much love? Well, being I've only recently, over the last couple of years, joined the PlayStation bandwagon, didn't we have a lot of non-love for the trophies and how they were built and how they came out in the games, and they were sort of broken to a certain degree. Broken. That's I do personally. I do think that trophies are not as perfect a system as PlayStation owners like to say that they are. And the reason why I say that is because on Xbox now, I think that they've got it right in terms of the fact that every game is worth 1,000 points. Yeah. Irrespective. Before, it used to be a bit more confusing when, it was an indie game and that'd be worth 200 or 400 points. I think it's much better that everything's just worth 1,000 points. If I talk about the Xbox One first off, that is a number that you are given at the end of the day. And what that does is that number then signifies to other people your sort of status as a gamer, as it were. But all it does is, you could have 10,000 games with 15 gamer score on each one to get 150,000 gamer score. Yeah? Doesn't mean that you're a fantastic gamer. So in that respect, that system's broken. I'm not going to be fanboyish. The Xbox version, which was first, because trophies came in as a reaction to achievements, because the 360 had them, and it was about a year later that the PS3 had them. The Xbox system, what it doesn't do is give you any detail on that. It gives you a score that a person's got. Now, that, like I said, that person could have scored 100 gamer score on 10 games, or scored 1,000 gamer score on one game. And you don't know which is which. And that gives a different connotation to that as well. There are websites which dig down into the data for your achievements that will then pull that together to give you things such, if you're concerned about it, such as your percentage rate of completions, or the number of achievements that you've got, or the rarity of your achievements, or how many games you've completed, and all of that sort of stuff. Because that's a True Achievements website, and you can get fantastic stats off the True Achievements website as well. It's a really good site.
Mm.
But the Xbox system requires that external, non-related party.
Mm.
The difference is it's not quite the same. In some ways, I think that actually the trophy system is a bit better thought out because you have different levels which mean different things. So, for example, you've got your bronze level, which is your basic, sort of, your character scratched his head, 15 gamer score.
Mm.
And that sort of thing. To the silver ones, which are a little bit more hard to get, to the gold ones, which are even harder, and then the ultimate prize of the platinum trophies, which are then, that signifies you have completed the base version of that game.
You see, I got a funny feeling. I've just been thinking, this has just popped into my head. Now, this won't, I don't mean this to the platinum side of things.
Yeah.
But when I was playing Gran Turismo for the first time, which had been very early 90s, isn't it?
Yeah.
The system for trophies they were trophies in the game per se, but not trophies as we know them now.
Yeah.
They had silver, bronze and gold. So when you would do your A license to get from A to B, if you did it within a certain time, you would get the bronze, silver, and if you got it really fast, you would get the gold.
Mm.
And I'm wondering where this basis came from Gran Turismo, is how they implemented the idea for trophies that we see now, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I might be completely wrong. I might be talking complete BS, but
maybe that is where they actually originated from in, sort of like a basic kind of way.
Mm. Yeah, but I think they're stale at the moment anyway, to be honest. There's no real pressure, there's no real pull to go for the trophies.
No, but the thing is, I think what confuses the trophies even more. Well, first off, I think the reason why that they're broken is because not every game has a platinum. If the idea of the platinum trophy is to tell you that you have completed a game,
that makes total sense. That's how I would. That's how I'd assume the platinum would be for. Not, if they're going to give it for one game and not for the other, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that annoys me is when every game doesn't have it. It should be every game should have a platinum, universal, because the platinum dictates that you only get that when you have every other trophy. If
there's a really, 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 really special trophy / achievement that you can get, then maybe call that a diamond. Now, I know we got rare ones, which would maybe called diamond on the Xbox.
Well, no, because they're called gold. The really, the supposedly hard ones are the gold ones. Yeah. Because
but what I'm saying is at the moment, but because we haven't got the platinum sitting there as a universal, I've completed everything.
Yeah.
Maybe have another level where you got diamond in between the platinum to because you should have platinum for every game, as you rightly said. You don't have that.
No, and that makes it a broken system straight off.
It doesn't make sense to anybody.
No.
Anyone with half a brain. I'm not saying PlayStation players have got half a brain, but I don't mean that. But it doesn't add up, does it? At all.
No. And I think where it gets more confusing is the levels and the confusion over there, because whether or not you realise this or not, that your PlayStation trophies actually have a score. So a bronze is 15, a silver is 30, a gold is 90, and a platinum is 180. So basically what that means is most PlayStation games have 1200 gamer score, effectively, rather than 1000. But obviously not the ones without platinums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But that score then adds up to work out your level. So, but the levels aren't equal. The levels are like an expanding system. So level 1 is 0 points. Level 2 is 200. Level 3 is 600 points. Level 4 is 1200. Level 5 is 2400. Level 6 is 4. Level 7 is 6. Goes on in increments of 2. Right the way up until level 12, so level 11's 1400, level 12, 1600. Then when you get to level 13, the reason why you seem to be stuck on level 13 for ages, or level 12 rather, is because it then goes up to 2,400. So there's an 8,000 point difference in your score. And every time you go up a level there, you have to score 8,000 points. So they should have just done it as a unified system. If you're going to have levels, is just have a level's like 4,000 points or whatever. I think the idea what they've done is try to encourage people to, work their way up the levels and give them a boost start. So, if you're level 6, you're in between 4,000 and 6,000 gamer score, effectively speaking.
You see, I'm confused now about all this. It just doesn't add up for me. It doesn't. To
me, the levels is completely irrelevant. I don't see the point in the levels. I completely see the point in the bronze, silver, gold and platinum, especially the platinum if it's applied to every game, because then that's your marker of, as a gamer, I have completed this number of games, all achievements. And that's something, if you're going to use it as a trophy system, as the name implies, the trophy is, you can say, I have smashed those games. These are all of the ones I've done. There's my list. These are all of my platinums. But because it doesn't do everyone, that's broke. Because you then have to look at your completion rate on games, which is another metadata, which when you go on your PlayStation, it shows you the percentage of completion. But then, if DLC is released, that percentage rate goes down because there are more trophies.
Yeah, because where Xbox do it better, because they just add it to make it could be a 2,300, 2,500 gamer score for that game because they've got all that DLC released on it.
Yeah, exactly. So every time that there's that release, of new stuff, you may get more gamer score because some of the incremental bits in Destiny, for example, you didn't get, in year 1.
No.
You didn't get any gamer score, but now that we're on year 2 of it, they added gamer score, which to me, I think if they add DLC, they should always add more achievements or trophies to a game. I think that should be a compulsory thing. Every game should have them, and every bit of DLC should have a finite value to standardise it as a system.
Yeah. So
like one bit of DLC is 500 gamer score, unless it's a cosmetic item, but if it's a story item or something like that, it should have different things that you can actually do from that.
Because I suppose in one way, the way it works is all right, let's take a game on PlayStation and let's take a game on the Xbox. So let's say we'll take an older game. So let's say Fallout 3. Okay. Mm-hmm. You get the platinum for doing the game.
Yeah.
Then they decide to release more content.
Yeah. Well, the base game is platinum, so you've still got the platinum. You don't lose it because of adding more DLC. And if you don't buy the DLC, you can still get the platinum because it's based on the original.
The Xbox has now gone up to 1,500 gamer score.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So how do you cope with that on the Sony side?
Well, then what it is that your percentage rate for completion goes down.
Yeah. Why don't you have a separate set of achievements?
You do.
No, what I mean is separate from. So you got another set of gamer score. Well, trophies. You got a separate trophy system for that.
You do. They're in the main part. They're all added together, and then they will say, for example, on.
I suppose what's the new game? Oh, so Spider-Man, for example. Yeah, that's a really recent one. So you got you got the standard game that I've got, and you've got all those trophies, and then you got the platinum.
Yes.
Then you got 3 bits of DLC.
Yeah, so I completed Spider-Man, and I got 100% on it before the DLC, and I got the platinum. Now they've released, 3 lots of DLC and added so many more platinums. When I look at my overall thing of that game plus DLC, my completion rate is something like 60% now because
Yeah,
they've
that's
added
fair
so
enough.
many
Yeah, that's
things.
right. Yeah, I've seen that. You can see that on Xbox theoretically.
But when you expand it, you can then see main game 100%, and then each DLC it tells you how much percentage you've completed of that DLC. So that is a good way of doing it. So that then if you've come into the game late like yourself and you've bought Spider-Man and you think, I'm not bothered about the DLC, I just want to play the base game, you can track your progress in terms of that. And obviously you can still link in True Trophies, which is a PlayStation version of that, and you can get all of the same sort of data analysis on your trophy list as well. But the question really, because we've skirted around about how the systems work, but the question is, why suddenly are people paying attention to how many platinums you have?
And the Scoobies.
I think it's because it's the only real way of showing the approximate number of games that you've completed.
Well, it's only approximate though, isn't it? If you've got an older game that doesn't have a platinum on it, but you have still completed it 100%.
Yeah, that's where it also doesn't work, but that's PlayStation 3 era. You're talking about Assassin's Creed, you're talking about Star Wars, the complete saga.
Yeah, because
didn't have them.
The Xbox 360 actually started the achievements for the Xbox ecosystem.
On day one. So that's moved forward correctly for its way it's done it. Yeah.
They've added the rare ones, and they're whatever, but they're rare because... for two reasons, probably. One, because they're a tough achievement to maybe pick up. Or secondly, the population that have played the game haven't played it as much. Therefore, that's put more rare achievements in there because the percentage is lower.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you first play a game, if you're within the first few hundred people to play a game, all of the achievements are going to be rare because no one's going to have achieved them.
Well, not all of them, but there are certain amounts that have become rare.
Yeah. But a rare achievement on PlayStation is different to a rare achievement on Xbox. I can't remember what the
criteria is.
The criteria is for something, but I think that you can have like something that's got 50% of people, don't have it, so it's a rare achievement. Whereas on Xbox, it's 10%.
I think what the Xbox does show you, which is quite interesting, is it will give you an achievement and it will give you a percentage of people that have got that achievement.
It does that on PlayStation.
Does it?
Yeah.
Where's that then? I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, it's on there.
You sure?
Yeah, and it tells you that it's a rare achievement. Definite.
It will just say that it will not be about being rare, but it will just tell you that.
But the criteria for rare is different on PlayStation.
Yeah, but I'm not about being rare now. I'm on about in their achievements. They will give you a percentage of how many people that have played the game, how many have got that achievement.
PlayStation does.
Is it?
Yeah, they both do. In a matter of fact, I think that was something that Xbox copied off PlayStation.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, because I don't think it was there day one. Actually, it wasn't. So
no.
But it's quite funny because when you see a game like Destiny,
yeah,
and you will see an achievement like completed the Leviathan's raid, for example.
Yeah.
It's very low because a lot of people don't get a chance to play the raid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I've not done the raid since the Vault of Glass.
Oh God, that's donkeys ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I was in the Leviathan this afternoon on my own actually, which I need to do something for a quest, but I'll need you for that because I need to pull all these levers with a certain time frame.
Yeah. And
you got to run around too, and you got to do 6 levers. But maybe if you're on tonight, we can do that later. But yeah, no, it's a weird system. These achievements, it's just it needs a good spring clean, to be honest.
I think, to be honest,
for both systems. I mean,
for both systems. I mean, the Xbox system needs more data in relation to things like how many achievements or how many games that you've completed, which for the most part, but not completely, the trophy system does provide you with. But I think both of them need standardisation in terms of how many achievements are given for DLC. And personally, I think it should be like 500 gamer score on Xbox and whatever the equivalent would be on PlayStation. So that it standardizes that. Whether or not they turn around and they say, well, we'll do, however many, I don't know, something like, I don't know, however much they could get to add up to 500. So a couple of golds, loads of silvers and loads of bronzes, as it were. But sorry, go on.
I'm just picking out. I'm just gone onto the Xbox app, and I'm just looking at Destiny for an example, as it's the main game I play, and obviously I like the idea. I don't think the PlayStation doesn't do a lot of the ranking as much as the Xbox data is. For example,
it doesn't give you your monthly leaderboards. No,
but not just that, but it gives you. Which I don't know. It gives me my time played, for example, Destiny 2.
No, you don't have that. You don't have that at all.
Yeah,
but I'm looking here, for example.
Then you got character. Oh, it's character. Yeah, but obviously character levels depending on the game. But it tells you how many friends I've got. The character power, your progress within your friends list. It's got the character age of you playing the game.
Yeah,
and how many achievements you've unlocked. And then say when you look at the achievements. Because we're not talking trophies there, obviously. It says, for example, it's showing me ones that are still classed as rare achievements.
I'm looking at the PlayStation app right now, and it's showing me what achievements people have got and their rarity.
Right.
It's I knew it was on there. Absolutely, definitely. And when I go into my own one, it shows me exactly the same sort of information as well. So they both have that, and the rarity is something that I'm sure the Xbox definitely copied from PlayStation.
So where do I go for that? Let me have a look.
We'll look at the PlayStation app.
I'm on there now. I'm just having a look. So trophies. Okay, mine would be very small, mind you.
That's not what she said.
I know. Let me find a game. Let's find a game that I've got a big high rate in it, because I've got a load that aren't anyway, obviously. Let's find a game that I actually finished on PlayStation, because there is one somewhere. I know I have. I'm trying to find The Last of Us, if I can see it. Why isn't it here? Oh yeah, we do Persona 5. I finished that game. Maybe I'm on my second playthrough. So I brought up this to play. I've brought up the list of achievements for this. And yeah, they come up as common, rare.
Common and rare.
Common and rare. And there's one here called ultra rare.
And very rare as well.
Oh, and very rare. Let's have a look. We got very rare as well. Okay. So yeah. But there's something. There is another thing that the PlayStation has, the Xbox doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a look on this and do it? Hidden trophy. So if I highlight hidden trophy. And now I can see then it say show hidden information.
Yeah, and that to me is a lot better, because as I suppose an achievement trophy hunter, I don't like them being hidden, so I'll have to then go to a website like True Achievement or True Trophies to see what it entails. Because I kind of like to be a bit forewarned, so if I have to do something special in the game, like for example, what was it, the Brothers game, a Taylor, whatever it was. I played that through most of the way and not got an achievement. And when I thought this is a bit odd, and I looked at it and I saw some of the things that you had to do.
Yeah.
I then had to restart the game and basically keep an eye on the achievements of, I think this is coming up now. Which, because they were obscure, like stick a ball down a well. Or look out to sea at a certain place, that sort of stuff. And, if they're hiding trophies like that, unless you actually look them up, you're very unlikely to come across them.
Yeah.
And I don't like those sort of trophies. And I don't like that about Xbox. I hate that about Xbox.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think both of systems are good. I think they both do it in different ways. And what I would actually like to see is it coming together, so that Xbox does a bit more of what PlayStation does in terms of the bronze, silver, gold, platinum. But all games had platinums. All DLCs are equal value, and I would like an overall score that you can see, because it's in the background, on the trophy system. And also all games having platinums and standardised DLC and stuff like that, the same. And I think if you did that, and also things like, you know, your data about how long you've played games and all of that sort of stuff, because it's all interesting information to us as gamers, especially, you know, if you're big gamers like us, it's nice to know how long you've spent on a game. Yeah,
I just looked at my Destiny 2, I'm shocked.
How many months?
Well, it's now, with Destiny 2, since it's come out, what was it for the year? Did it say 400 odd, it said?
Yeah.
The year? It's now 659. Don't ask me how that's ramped up like that, but there you go. Crazy. But yeah, I'd like it can be all standardised between both platforms. That will never happen because they're at loggerheads with each other anyway. They don't talk to each other.
No, that's true.
But maybe it's the actual developers that have got to do that because they bring out the games on both platforms, so therefore they should be talking to them both about how they do it. But there you go. Anything else you'd like to say about achievements? Are we sort of done there, are we?
No, they just need to improve. They need to improve both systems.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's it then. That's a wrap.
Yeah, I know.
Really? First one of 2019.
Can't believe it.
I know. It's a long month, January as well. That don't help.
I can't. You think about it. We started this a year ago.
Is it a year now? Is it, Chard?
This is season 2.
Season 2, yeah. Special edition.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, move my phone out of there 'cause something's going off. So, outro for me then. So, Twitter at Steve07, PSN ID, the real Steve07, Xbox Steve07, and email at steve07@popculturegamers.co.uk. And yourself?
Well, before I do mine, I'd just like to say to the couple of people who have recently added some good reviews for us on iTunes, thanks very much. It does help the show out an awful lot. My contact details, if you want to get in contact with me on any of the major networks, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, just look for HERJ UK. Same on Steam, same on Twitch, etc., etc. If you want to get in contact with the podcast, you can email podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk. We also have a Facebook group. We also have our website, popculturegamers.podbean.com. And seeing as it is the end of our first year and we have our bills coming up for our hosting and whatever, you can also support us on Patreon. We haven't got anybody who's signed up yet, but anybody who would be interested, we would be very grateful.
It would be very much appreciated.
It would, because there are some things that we want to do in the future, but will require a bit of money, which obviously we can carry on going the way we are, or we can improve things, and we'd hope to improve things in the long run.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from him too.
Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.